And it's Gordon in at the 2 guard. Pass to Kuzma. A 3. The shot's good on the assist by Engel. Kuzma's got the game going here with the first basket for the Pistons.
And positionless basketball, all the rage. And Kyle Kuzma really fits that mold. Is he a 3? Is he a 4? I don't know, but he gets buckets. Chemistry at its best. An unreal alley-oop.
You're right. The pass, the catch, the dunk. All of it perfect. The pass to Ingles. Launches a 3. It's rebounded by Paul. And very light-footed is Kuzma. Moves well for his size.
You know, kind of a tweener in terms of build, but he has the ability to light up that scoreboard, something every team can use.
It's Caldwell Pope with the drive, and it's going to be out of bounds. The Thunder will retain possession. And just over a minute played here in the start of the game. Shot clock at 3. The 19-foot shot with 1 on the clock. Oh, that was something else.
That's why you never quit battling on the offensive glass.
And that's a nice reward for his effort. The flush, perfect.
He's working hard, beating everyone to the ball. He does this night in and night out.
And that is the exact type of opportunity this offense is looking to create.
You know, if you get the ball to the right guy in the right spot, more often than not, you're coming away with points.
Clearly a foul.
The Thunder shooting their first free throws. First trip to the line in this one. And, Smitty, what about the teams that know they're going to be championship caliber contenders? How do they stay motivated early in a season with so many games to play?
You know, it's hard. I think a lot of those guys, they're looking at, I would say now we're talking about load management for those type of teams. They're just trying to make sure their bodies, their minds are ready for that run. But usually those championship teams, they understand, they're motivated by winning. They get it together at the right time.
Twitter passes to Griffin. McGee against Embiid. Down low. And it's Schroeder missing.
Woo, blown opportunity right there. Won't get many chances easier than that one.
And foul on the shot, so he'll get a chance at the line.
Plays with such a fearlessness. Kuzma is terrific at staying engaged and forcing the issue.
It's his first trip to the line.
And he shot foul shots at about a 75% clip a season ago.
And the first one at the line is good.
Well, one area that has slowed the Pistons the last decade is their player development.
Yeah, you look at their roster, very few homegrown players. The Pistons haven't had a lot of hits with their first-round picks. To be a top team, you need to have a front office that can build from within.
Schroeder passes to Paul. Over Gordon. Ball against Gordon. Paul can't get it to go. Last outing for the Pistons, it was a loss to the 76ers in Philadelphia. Goes up on the high post, and that one goes long.
You expect him to make that, especially from that distance.
Griffin attacking, and a great assist by Paul as that one goes in.
The defense has to be terrified when Blake Griffin makes his mind up to drive it hard.
And the Pistons decide to take their first timeout right here. Well, we're now on the back end of what has been, Greg, an incredible career for Chris Paul. Perhaps no longer the undisputed best point guard in the game, but still a top talent.
And Chris Paul might not be the best point guard, but any team would be happy to have him. His efficiency and playmaking aren't going away anytime soon. And even though he's never been an overly athletic player, that aspect of his game still is strong as ever.
And the Thunder going with a whole new group out there. Let's take a look at the players who were the best on the glass a season ago. Second, Joel Embiid.
What a season he had in the paint. I mean, his rebounding numbers really mind-boggling. Who wouldn't love to have a guy like that?
Smith outside. Passes to Embiid from outside the arc. No good on that one. And the Thunder going the other way now. And here in the first quarter, with a little over 3.5 minutes played, Thomas against Holiday. From deep. Offensive rebound. Looney laid in with a nice touch off the glass.
The effort from Looney on the offensive glass. A hustle player who really wills himself out there.
Pass to Embiid. And it goes out of bounds. Last touch by Embiid.
All right, a moment to check out stats for Embiid. Coming off a terrific season. Second in rebounding, fourth in scoring, and he finished among the top 10 in blocks, bringing that intimidation factor to the paint.
And looking back at last season, his complete dominance on the boards to rank number 2 overall. Absolutely remarkable. 2 points.
Yeah, they're going to have a nice little run here.
Pistons trail by 5. Guys are looking for a spark here.
Yeah, a cold stretch offensively for sure.
And he gets the whistle. 2 free throws coming up.
I mean, even from over here, you can see that one pretty clearly.
The Pistons have been perfect at the line so far, albeit just 2 for 2. And Embiid drops them both.
Well, he's got a great stroke from the line. That's not something we can say about all the league's big guys.
Now here is Holiday. Still getting warmed up offensively. No scoring yet from him. From deep three-point range, and the last second attempt does not go in for him. At the end of one, a closely contested game so far. It's the Thunder leading by 3. Live from Little. And being a smaller player is a challenge, but Isaiah Thomas always confident attacking the lane.
I just go in there. I've been doing it since I was little.
Thomas brings that fearlessness, Greg. He's always played with a chip on his shoulder.
Yeah, and he's got a deep bag of tricks for finishing around bigger players. It's really something to watch.
And close game underway so far. We'll see if either of these teams can jump out in the second quarter. And when you consider how the Thunder are doing, guys, what do you think?
Well, one way to generate more offense, pound the offensive glass. That was the difference in the first.
And you know this, most of the time, offensive rebounds generate high percentage looks.
On the floor for Oklahoma City getting going here in the second quarter. They've got Noel, and it's Dort in at the small forward position. And let's catch up with our sideline reporter, David Aldridge.
Well, Kevin, Dwayne Casey was the 2018 Coach of the Year, but as we all know, he was fired after that same season by the Raptors. Casey's found a home in Detroit. Casey said, "I have no regrets." Winston Churchill said, "Success consists of going from failure to failure without losing enthusiasm." And that's what I've done. So, Kevin, Dwayne Casey is still pounding the rock.
He sure is, and I like that Churchill quote as well. Thanks, David. He gets that one. Holiday's got his first 2 points of the night.
That's nice work, stopping short of the rim, just laying it over the top.
And for the Thunder, one of the assistant coaches leading this past summer. Greg, how much of a concern is that for head coach Billy Donovan?
Possibly a sign that Donovan could be on the hot seat in OKC. I mean, 3 consecutive first-round exits. Donovan on the final year of his deal. The clock is definitely ticking.
And here's Embiid. He'll bring it up for the Detroit Pistons. Only giving up 2 points this quarter. Here's McKinley, guarded by Holiday. Smith against Holiday. And the bucket is good. 3-point play chance here for him.
And playing with a lot of fire now. They had a tough start in that first quarter. Didn't shoot it well, but didn't let that discourage them. And now they're showing what they can do offensively.
And Oklahoma City going with a whole new group out there. Out of talent in the 2018 draft, Smitty. Who do you think has the highest ceiling of that group?
Kevin, I love that question, because it's not who's the best player who has the best talent. It's the ceiling. I think Jaren Jackson Jr., Marvin Bagley, those guys have so much room to grow. The Doncic and the Trae Young, those guys are fantastic. They have room to grow, but I think those two have a lot of room to grow, and they're already good.
For the Detroit Pistons, they come in off the loss to the Philadelphia 76ers. And the whistle blows as the basket counts, and a three-point play chance right here. One free throw coming up. Pistons making a change here. Rozier's checked in. They're shooting their third free throw shot of the game. You know, Greg, for the Thunder fans, hard to see their star power dwindle, but they got a lot in return.
Yeah, but the Thunder were capped out. They hadn't made it past the first round in 3 years. And in exchange for Paul George, they got one of the richest trade packages in league history.
Here's Paul. The teardrop falls in. And the Thunder lead by 2.
Chris Paul has such a gentle touch on his floaters. There's no way the defense can get to that shot.
Rozier against Paul. Pass to Gordon. The three. Thunder with the rebound.
More good work on the glass there. When it's all said and done, I think rebounding might tell the story in this game.
And Schroeder entrusted to run this offense, making the right call.
1:24 left to play here in the second quarter. Paul against Rozier. The rejection by Paul. Here's Kuzma. The Thunder pull it in. McGee's got 4 rebounds in this game. Griffin kicks to Paul. Back to Griffin. Good, and Paul gets the assist. And now a 6-point Thunder lead.
Oh, great ball movement there.
Pistons have gone 4 of 8 so far here in the second quarter. There's 45 seconds left now here in the second. And here is Rozier. 5 to shoot. The Pistons need to get off a shot here. McGee with the block. It's Caldwell Pope with the drive. That's his second shot and his second basket. He's 2 for 2.
That's their 3rd straight make off an assist.
Just 1 second between the shot clock and game clock. Rozier against Schroeder. Rozier, the pass to Ingles. Stolen by Caldwell Pope. A finish. The coast-to-coast dunk.
And don't look now, but they're starting to extend this lead.
They're doing it by building it out, step by step, valuing each possession.
And so it's Oklahoma City going into the break with a 10-point lead. And thanks, David. And we'll be back shortly following halftime to get the third quarter underway.
And now, the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
A competitive matchup for Oklahoma City in the first quarter. At the end of the period, and that does it for our...
And if you're just joining us in this one, first half is in the books. 1 half to go. It's been quite a game for JaVale McGee.
In those first 2 quarters, he was pretty much an automatic bucket getter if he got it down low on the block.
I have to credit them for their patience offensively. They understood the matchup, and they took the necessary time to exploit it.
Terry Rozier is out there with Gordon. Then there's Kyle Kuzma. And it's Joe Ingles. And it's Embiid in at the 5. They're the group for Dwayne Casey starting the second half. And there it is for him. And it's 9 points for Kyle Kuzma.
And that pick takes the D totally out of the equation.
Hey, if you're not going to fight over, you're essentially giving the shooter the look he wants.
Paul finds Griffin, shoots over Kuzma. That shot by Griffin, no good.
This opportunity, it's a makeable shot for him. He just can't get it to go.
Ingles passes to Rozier. He can't get that one to fall. Paul with the defensive effort.
Well, the Pistons, one of the more successful franchises in NBA history. 3 titles and many other trips to the NBA Finals. Only a handful of franchises can say that.
And Smitty, you were talking about the Pistons, a history of success, of championships. But the last 10 years have been difficult.
Pistons have struggled the last decade. You're so right, Kevin. But this team has a track record of not staying down for long. Detroit doing what they can to return to championship contention.
Detroit making a switch. Mikhailuk is checked in.
Really well done there. Just confident and composed, never in a hurry.
Thomas checked in for the Pistons. The Pistons have gone 4 for 5 from the charity stripe in this one up to now. Well, free throw drops for Embiid. Coaches talk about young players needing to experience the playoffs to understand that level. Smitty, why is that so hard to simulate without going through it?
Kevin, reasons why is in the playoffs, everything is taken to another level. Also, you seeing this team night in and night out. They know your plays, you know their plays. It comes down to just execution, and you can't have careless turnovers or those brain freezes you have in the regular season.
And that set them apart today, guys. Their success with the mid-range.
Thomas surveying the D. Here's Kuzma. Sinks the three-pointer. Kuzma's got 12 in the game.
And proving once again that he has the touch from beyond. Kuzma effective at cashing in there.
Here's Paul. That shot no good. And it's Detroit the other way. Next game for them, they'll take on the Raptors at Toronto. That'll be just one game played away from home for them. It's rebounded by Oklahoma City. They've held a 12-point lead early. To the middle. Stolen by Gordon. Here's Mikhailuk. But they recover it. Kuzma can't get it to go. The Thunder leading by 8. Paul left side. And the pass to Griffin. The fader. And a great assist by Paul as that one goes in. Paul's got his 4th assist with that last one here tonight. Thomas outside. Doesn't go that time. So the Thunder will take it the other way. Griffin dishes to Schroeder. Back to Griffin. Paul outside. Clock at 4. Caldwell Pope with a wide open look. No good on the triple.
Uncontested look. Can't fault the shot selection. He's money from there.
Beyond the arc. Detroit, no good that time either.
And close to making the defense pay for the lax coverage that time.
Here's Griffin. Rebounded by the Pistons. Kuzma's got 4 rebounds in this game. Outside Gordon. Passes it to Embiid. The dish to Thomas. Over Noel. Off the left rim and out.
And with the success they've had rebounding the basketball, they're right where you'd expect them to be, firmly in the driver's seat.
The pass by Schroeder, finding the right balance between scoring and facilitating.
There's 45 seconds left in the third quarter. They need a good offensive possession.
Yeah, they've gone a long time without a bucket.
Kicks it out to Gordon. Embiid inside. He's covered by Noel. Embiid, no good.
The defense ready for him on that possession. They had to be, because he is so strong in the paint.
So difficult to stay in front of. Schroeder allowed to get all the way to the rim that time.
Ball against Thomas. Pass to Mikhailuk. Kuzma kicks to Gordon. Mikhailuk passes to Embiid. Drops it in from 14 feet away. Embiid's got 7 points.
And knocking down shots in the mid-range area really forces teams to have to adjust their defense.
And so it's Oklahoma City enjoying a 12-point lead as they talk things over during the break.
Well, don't give in for those semi-fast breaks and get.
And there have been two very different performances from these teams today as we get going in quarter number 4. Our fourth quarter action underway, presented by Gatorade, all fueled up and ready to go. Let's reset the lineups. So for Oklahoma City right now, Looney out there with JaVale McGee. Then there's Dennis Schroeder, and it's Holiday in at the 1. And it's Schroeder missing. Pistons trail by 12. Rozier looking around. Embiid in the corner. And a miss there with a chance to cut the lead to single digits.
They have been board dominant in this game. That's definitely been a factor in cracking this huge lead.
What an athlete, Dennis Schroeder. He's a problem when he's out on the break.
And here's Rozier. He brings it up for Detroit. Pass to Embiid. Excellent D that time there from McGee.
You like that he's still attacking, but the results tonight just haven't been there.
Drains it from beyond the arc.
Schroeder has really improved as a three-point shooter. With that shot, he becomes even more dangerous.
Rozier the pass to Embiid. Here's Smith. Embiid trying to break loose. Smith with the basket on the assist by Embiid.
That's a nice read. The value of keeping your eyes up.
Holiday the pass to Looney. Schroeder against Rozier. Shoots from 14. Can't hit that one. And the Pistons now going the other way. Here's Smith. From down in the low post, it goes. Smith's got 4 points in the quarter.
Working on his interior game, Smith Jr. is very aware he has what it takes to score from there.
Here's Schroeder. That doesn't go either for Schroeder.
Not really his best quarter as far as scoring. Let's see if he can eventually get back on track.
The Thunder leading by 13. Dort passes to Schroeder over Rozier. And again, Oklahoma City, no good.
And the truth is, this league would have been much bigger had he shot better.
Inside. And there's the whistle. 3-second violation.
And it's easy to give up after a play like that, but this team needs to keep fighting.
It's just one trip down the court, but you have to have short memory in this league or you won't last long.
And the Thunder making a switch here. Caldwell Pope's checked in. Here's Holiday, and that'll be 2 free throws coming up. Officials on the call with the foul. Steve, when it comes to creating contact, which offensive moves can create the impression of a foul where the defensive player can do nothing about it?
I think ripping through the defender's arms is really tough for the defensive guy right now, Kevin. That's a hard move to defend if you're the defender.
Smitty, I think guys actually practice this, don't they? Ways they can kind of lure a defensive player in like that.
They do. They're strong enough now, and also they are, like you said, practicing that type of move.
Back to Griffin. Oklahoma City moving it around. Uses the glass to finish the layup. And the Thunder lead by 17.
They're in total command of this game with time starting to run out.
Reason why they've tightened up the vice grip a little more each time up the floor. We'll see if they can close this one out.
In the corner, it's Gordon. Buries the long-range jumper. Gordon's got himself going there. His first points of the game on the deep ball. The Thunder leading by 14. Holiday surveying the floor. Here's Caldwell Pope. Embiid with the steal.
No question as to which team gave the better effort tonight. A dominant performance and an outstanding win for Oklahoma City.
Look, their big advantage was points in the paint.
And they found a way to pound the ball inside and that was working all game long.
And it'll go down as their first official win of the new year.
They were really smart in the use of that game plan tonight. Used it in their first 2 games against this team, which equal to 2 wins.
And while there was some nice performances tonight, it definitely ended up being a solid outing for Dennis Schroeder.
You know, he was flying around on both ends of the floor. Terrific energy and enthusiasm, and that rubbed off on his teammates. I thought he was a catalyst tonight.
And you gotta like that they found something positive here, something that maybe carry overs into the next game.
They put together some great possessions here at the end. It's a shame they could have used this run much earlier.
Yeah, they sucked the energy out of this arena. Tremendous effort on the road.
And when you're on the road, you can't be tentative coming into a game like this. I thought their aggressive approach was the difference. I mean, he's hard to stop once he gets to the rim. That's a beautiful play.
Paul looking around. So no problem for Oklahoma City as they get the win. A solid win on the road for them. This building was dead silent by the time, GA, this one wound down.
And that's what you want to do. Take the crowd out of it.
David, thank you as always. Well, folks, that's going to do it for now. Well, we winning a big part of it, David. Thank you. Here are the starters for Los Angeles. We've got Russell Westbrook. Howard is out there with LeBron James. Then there's Robertson, and it's Green in at the 2. And for Chicago, they've got Jared Allen. DJ Augustine out there with Levine. Then it's Anthony Davis, and it's Hutchinson in at the 3. Now here's LeBron. And a lot of contact on that one, so he'll shoot 2 here. It's on Jared Allen. And the GOAT conversation. LeBron has said his motivation is to surpass Michael Jordan as the greatest of all time. Greg, what do you think he needs to do to bolster his pace?
I I think for the naysayers, the obvious answer is more rings. You look at the other numbers, including those 8 consecutive finals appearances, LeBron is in the discussion.
Here's Hutchison to the paint. Here's Davis. Misses that one. He's 0 for 1 from the floor.
And you can see the defenders afraid to kind of get in his way a lot of times when he's on his way to the basket. But on that one, they were there.
And it's the Bulls with the ball. After Westbrook's missed 3, the pass to Augustine. Allen outside. Outside, Levine. A three-pointer off the mark. And here's the Lakers. To the inside. And the dunk by LeBron.
LeBron James knows the meaning of the word layup, but he's much more interested in throwing it down when he can.
Augustine against Westbrook. Right side, Levine. Down to 5 on the shot clock. Here's Davis, and it's Davis finishing it off.
Just so resourceful as a player. Davis gets the job done inside in all sorts of ways, and that's one of them right there, crashing the offensive glass, getting that second chance bucket.
The offensive rebound. Here's Howard. The second chance effort, and it's sent back by Allen. Right side, Levine. Too long in the paint, and he's hit with a 3-second violation. And Coach Jim Boylan agreeing to a multi-year extension with the Bulls this summer, Greg.
And taking that interim tag off his title as head coach, Boylan, with over 30 years of coaching experience, afforded the opportunity to continue developing this young core.
Nice touch on the floater. Another tool that Levine's developed. I mean, he's becoming a better all-around scorer for sure.
James, his second shot goes in, off to a good start, 2 for 2.
Boy, he is looking confident. Love how they're using him so far.
And you know what? They're going to keep using him. I mean, he'll be the centerpiece of their offense today. You can bank on that.
Pass to Augustine. Pass to Davis. No good on the shot. So Los Angeles will take it the other way. Now here's Robertson. He's guarded close, and Davis sends it back.
Boy, I tell you what, Davis uses his length so well. I mean, a defensive stalwart who holds his ground, and because of his timing and length and athleticism, he's an excellent shot blocker.
Well, flying high and throwing it down with the one-hander.
One of his favorite moves right there, guys.
Does it as well as anybody, fellas. Tremendous skill while in the air.
So timeout called here, the first for Los Angeles. Clark, I have sat next to you doing these games for years. What's prevented you from taking a coaching position at some level? Because I hear you talk, I'm thinking you'd be a perfect coach.
Well, a couple of things. One, coaching never lets up. It's always on you, and I've come to enjoy the fact that I can be fully immersed as a broadcaster and work with great guys like you and others, and then have a period of time where I don't have to be immersed in basketball, and I've enjoyed that. And I also haven't trained or prepared to be a coach because it is demanding in terms of the hours that you have to put in. And I've got a little more job security, I think, in the role that I serve as an analyst as opposed to what might happen if I did try to be a coach.
You've got all the security in the world, believe me. Here's Prince, following the basket by Markieff Morris. Bounce pass, Prince. Now here's Valentine, covered by Redick. The shot by Valentine, no good. Lakers have gotten 3 of 8 shots to fall for them here in the first quarter. Here's Horton Tucker, guarded by Prince. Redick passes to Morris. Redick trying to get open, and Morris throws it down.
How about that? Redick showing the same kind of accuracy on that pass as he has on his three-point shots, which is quite remarkable. That's how you drop a dime.
Cloak loose, out of bounds, Bulls ball. Chicago keeps possession. Prince wide open. Drills it from outside.
And that's exactly what he's looking for, draining the triple.
Looking at the last game for the Lakers, it was a loss to the Rockets. Outside, Redick. And he can't answer back. The three-pointer offline. Knocked loose. And it's done in the corner. It's Prince on the wing. The baseline J off the mark. A good close contest so far as we finish the first quarter. And we return to the second quarter, and Noche Latina specialized jerseys on display. Welcome back, everyone. Looking at what we've seen from the Bulls, what do you guys think?
Well, one way to generate more offense, pound the offensive glass. That was the difference in the first.
Oh, there's no doubt about it, guys. Without those second chance points, this game would have had a much different feel to it.
We've got Valentine. Davis is out there with Taurean Prince. Then there's Dunn, and it's Gafford in at the pivot spot, manning the middle. That's the Bulls 5 as we get into the second quarter. Now, here's Redick, following the miss by Anthony Davis. And that's good. J.J. Redick for three. Redick's got himself on the board with three there.
Guys, J.J. Redick is much more than just a standstill shooter. I mean, his movement without the ball and his quick trigger release, a very deadly combination. And the defense, no factor, which is why he simply laid it in.
On against Rundle. Dunn passes to Gafford. That's in, coming off an assist from Dunn.
Well, one thing you like there is the extra pass. Evidence that the game is starting to slow down for Dunn.
And Clark, as good as he is, playing off the ball, Redick can handle and even create some for his teammates.
Yeah, I like the fact that Redick has added that to his package, Kevin, because initially he was just a catch-and-shoot guy, but he's smart, he's tough, and he's actually steady and comfortable with the ball in his hand.
And stolen by Dunn. And here in the second with about a minute and a half gone by. Davis, the pass to Gafford. Count that bucket. Gafford's got four this quarter.
And they've done well at taking advantage of some late defensive rotations and getting the ball in the paint.
Timeout called the Lakers.
And guys, at this point in his career, Anthony Davis just entering his prime. Crazy to think when you look at what he's already accomplished thus far.
A platoon swap here for the Lakers.
And let's check out stats for James. He's coming off an excellent season, putting in about 27 points a game, 8 assists, and 8 rebounds. And you can't help but be impressed by his numbers.
You know, guys, I think he's the engine of this offense. He makes them go. Without his scoring, I think they'd be a totally different team.
Now Augustine, after Westbrook's missed three. On the wing, Levine, covered by LeBron. 6 on the shot clock. Hutchison's shot is off. And we are talking about Anthony Davis. How do you even put into words what he is able to do on the basketball field?
I mean, he's entering the conversation among the best big men of all time. On a nightly basis, dominating in so many facets of the game. Really, it's remarkable.
Boy, at the offensive end, his game is so impressive. I mean, he's a threat every time up the floor.
And this is his first trip to the line tonight.
And 79% from the line a season ago. Pretty consistent there as a free throw shooter.
Davis is really the total package. A mobile, sharp-shooting big guy who can score from everywhere.
Robertson kicks to Green. Outside Westbrook. Passes it to Robertson. Goes back up. And that one, good. And the Lakers lead by 1.
And we've seen several lead changes tonight. Neither team giving an inch.
Yeah, and the lead has changed hands, and it just hasn't stayed in those hands very long when it's changed. Back and forth we go.
Now here's Allen. Nothing yet on the scoreboard for him. Back to Augustine. Outside Levine. They get a hand on it. Green against Levine. Green kicks to Howard. James outside. And it's Chicago with the rebound. Davis has got his 4th rebound in this one. Hutchison passes to Davis. Augustine looking around. Here's Hutchison. James covering. Fires from 18. They get it again. And it's Davis missing.
And the activity he shows around the rim is why he is such a respected defender.
And you know what? He's not going to give up an easy finish at the rim. I mean, that's just against his constitution.
Now here is Augustine. His last outing, 16 points for him. And the Bulls with another miss.
Well, you know he wants that one back. I mean, more often than not, he'll sink that mid-range jumper.
Takes the 13-footer, and it's Westbrook missing.
And the well is running dry for him right now. Nothing falling.
And, you know, you can sense his frustration. This is going to be a test of his resolve here.
This tug-of-war game continues.
And, guys, that's lucky number 7 already in this game.
James with it. 29 points for him last game against Houston. From deep. So that'll be it for the first half. Fairly even. Okay, David, much appreciated. And now time for halftime. So we'll be back in just
the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Ernie Johnson. It was a closely contested first quarter for Chicago. They never trailed by more than 3 points, and it was neck and neck the entire. And that.
And in that first half, we saw a pretty tight battle. We'll soon find out what sort of adjustments were discussed during the half. Anthony Davis really making a difference here.
He was an absolute monster on the offensive glass in that first half. I don't know how you slow him down.
And you know what, guys? I think it starts with having a body on him every time a shot goes up. I mean, they've got to do a better job boxing out.
Checking out the group for Frank Vogel to start the second half. Green out there with Russell Westbrook. Then there's Andre Robertson. Then there's Howard. And it's James in at the power forward.
Still playing at an MVP level. LeBron James, the greatest player of his generation, and some would argue of all time. We can't take for granted what we've been able to witness.
Both free throws good from James.
You look at LeBron James, he's truly a remarkable talent. Every season he seems to add something else to his game. It's been fun watching him, and I'm not sure how much longer we're going to see him at this level.
And now in his mid-30s, LeBron showing no sign of slowing down.
Man, his dedication to training and really maintaining his body, second to none. Alongside his prodigious athleticism, it seems that's made a huge difference.
Here is Augustine following the basket by LeBron James. Green with the block. And foul on the shot. He'll shoot 2 at the free throw line.
Looking here at some numbers for Zach LaVine. Great showing for him last season. He averaged about 23 points a game last year. 4 assists and 4 rebounds. And you talk about guys who just have a nose for putting up points. He is one of them.
Yeah, he sure is, and he rarely has back-to-back bad games. If he has an off night, he usually follows that up with a big night.
Augustine passes to Allen. LaVine up top, guarded by Green. Inside, Davis. That's good, and it's LaVine with the assist. And that's 11 points for Davis.
And they're passing the ball very crisply here.
Green deciding where to go with it. Kicks to Westbrook. Now, here's Robertson. He's guarded by Davis. Back to Westbrook. The Lakers need to get a shot off here. From deep three-point range, and they force the shot clock violation. Great team. As you're watching a game unfold, what characteristics do you look for in a great closer?
Obviously confidence, a real eagerness to make difference-making plays late, and somebody who can create his own shot. if a play breaks down. I mean, that's essential.
Here's what Chicago's going with right now. Taurean Prince comes in for Davis, and Chris Dunn subbed in for Augustine. Here's Levine, connects in the foul line jumper. And the Bulls lead by 1.
And now you can see the D having problems stopping the mid-range jumper, just not really closing out as much as they need to.
Here's he's been quiet so far with this stuff.
There are not many better on the offensive glass than Howard. He's a flat-out beast, especially if you don't box him out.
Levine kicks to Prince. And he could not get that one to go. A lot of contact, and he'll go to the line for 2. And a 4-year player at Baylor, Taurean Prince, something of a surprise lottery pick back in 2016. But Greg, he's become a very valuable player.
You know, he's one of those two-way power wings that it seems every team wants. A dependable three-point marksman who holds his own defensively.
Now here's Rondo. Morris outside. LeBron outside. And they double up James. Outside Rondo. Morris. Back to Rondo. From deep. Outside Redick. Now the pass to LeBron. Rebound by the Bulls. Done outside to the paint. Here's Gafford. Doesn't go for him. Good D by Thompson. Outside Redick. LeBron against Dunn. Takes it from 10. And that one hits back iron. And here's Dunn. He'll bring it up for Chicago. Levine wide open. Off the mark there with the three-point shot. LA's gone 0 of 2 from deep to start things here in the second half. It's Redick on the wing. Dunn covering. Now the feed to James. It's good. James has got 15.
Not going to miss many chances from that range. That's LeBron's wheelhouse there.
Chicago trailing here. Bean passes to Gafford. Now the dish to Valentine. Prince in the corner. Over Thompson. Prince's shot is good. Prince has got his second bucket of the game to go.
You know, not necessarily what you're looking for, but still able to convert.
James against Prince. LeBron outside. Tries it from the top of the key. No good. Shot missing. It's all tied in Chicago. And after a quick break, we're going to come right back with the start of the fourth quarter. And it's time to bring up the State Farm assist of the game.
And how about the floor generalship right here? I mean, showing us why they're always in good hands when he's the man in charge.
Well, clearly he's the guy that stirs the drink for him, and that's how he does it, with his dynamite passing skills.
We've reached the fourth quarter, and what has been a very competitive game should be an exciting finish. All fueled up and ready to go. Let's reset the lineups courtesy of Gatorade for the fourth quarter. Taking a look at the Bulls, Levine and Valentine are the wingmen. Then there's Davis. Then there's DJ Augustine. And it's Gafford in at the center, filling out the middle. Now here's Levine. They get the rebound. Davis. And the call on the shot that sends him to the line. It's going to go on Tristan Thompson. And that drops, so they now lead by 1. Los Angeles making a switch here. Westbrook's checked in, and that one goes in. 2 from the line that time.
He's as solid as it gets from the line. I mean, give him the opportunity. He's cashing in on those.
Outside, Green. Pass to Westbrook. over Augustine. Misses off the left iron. Outside Levine. Back to Augustine. And he feeds it to Valentine. On the wing, Levine. He's covered by Thompson.
You know, even though they're on top in this one, you'd like him to be better out there because he's capable of being better. It sure would make things a lot easier, too.
Westbrook with the bucket.
And this is the effort you want to see out of your guys, win or lose.
Yeah, you know what? I agree. I mean, they're showing a bunch of fortitude here, keeping this game tight.
Now here's Levine. Teardrop shot, and the layup is good. And the Bulls lead by 1.
I like what Levine gives you, Kevin, both the quickness and length. Tough to negate once he builds forward momentum.
Near the three-point line, it's Westbrook. Westbrook missing again. Bulls have gone 1 of 3 from the field to start the fourth quarter. Feeds it to Davis. That's good, and it's Levine with the assist. Levine's got his 3rd assist on the night. Lakers trail by 3. Westbrook dishes to Thompson. He kicks to Reddick. A three-pointer, no good.
I'm shocked that didn't turn into 3 points. I mean, he makes you pay on those nearly every time.
To the middle. Here's Gafford. He's covered by Thompson. Shots good by Gafford. Gafford's got the lead up to 5 now for Chicago. And the Lakers call time here. You have to like what we're seeing from Davis.
And he's just attacking the rim with force here. They need to try and deny him the ball in the paint to keep him away from the basket.
And now we've got a moment for our Jordan player of the game, Anthony Davis.
And his shooting percentage reflects just how efficient he's been. It's better than 50%, always a sign of a solid offensive performance. But his movement and his shot selection have also both been tremendous.
Okay, well, let's go down to David Aldridge for a report from the sideline.
During that break, Frank Vogel had some real words for his team. His concern was both their inconsistency and their amount of three-point shots. He said, let's move the ball for good shots. If you have an open 3, take it. Otherwise, let's attack the rim and put some pressure on these guys. Kevin?
The Bulls leading by 5. Down low. Here's Hutchison. Tries again. It's rebounded by Robertson. Los Angeles has gone 1 of 2 from three-point range here in the fourth. And they call the foul, so a chance at the line for one more coming up.
And, you know, we've come to expect this from LeBron James, guys. I mean, when his team needs a bucket, he rises to the occasion.
And some stats here, guys. The scoring breakdown for the Bulls.
And I like how they've taken the high percentage shot in the paint. In that first half, we saw them doing it, and they continue to succeed as the game has worn on.
Another thing they've done tonight well is share the ball. So many of their points have come off of good crisp passes.
Now here is Augustine. And it's Davis missing. On the wing, Robertson. Green passes to Robertson. Outside Westbrook. Anthony Davis grabs the miss. Davis has got 10 rebounds here tonight. So active. No good on that one. Westbrook with the nice D there. LeBron against Davis. Now here's LeBron. He's guarded closely. Howard trying to free himself up. James dishes to Howard. They shoot again. Money! And that shot brings them to within just 1.
There's not a lot you can do when Howard is on like he is now.
I think we'll see them burn the clock a bit here.
Yeah, smart move.
Here's Davis. Here's Allen. It falls.
Oh, you just love seeing a player with absolutely no fear.
Cool, calm, collected, and confident in the biggest moment of the game. Yes.
Los Angeles calls timeout. They're trailing by 3. 29 seconds left in the fourth. 29 seconds left in the fourth quarter. Now here's James. Defense right on him. It's good. And what a sensational bucket to bring them within 1.
Well, they're having major trouble dealing with LeBron.
And they foul intentionally. They're going to have to do that now again and again. They're not in the penalty yet.
Yeah, you have to do that, though. You can't just let them dribble the game out.
Exactly. I mean, you got to stop the clock any way possible and hope they alligator arm a few of those free throws.
It's the first, and that will put them up by 2.
And, you know, the Speedy Augustine is really an excellent teammate and a dependable role player, a veteran presence who can really stroke it.
Big-time free throws there. That could be the difference. It forces them now into a three-point attempt.
Out to the right wing. Westbrook with a wide-open look. He's off from 3. James finds Green. Misses the tray. And that's an intentional foul. Good on the first, and that gives them a 4-point cushion. And so he drops them both. It's a 5-point game.
Unflappable. This guy relishes being the man to put the game away.
So the Bulls win it. It was up for grabs right until the final. Thank you, David. Great interview once again. And that's going to do it tonight, folks, for our broadcast. For David Aldridge, Greg Anthony, and Clark Kellogg, this is Kevin Harlan saying thanks for being. Terrific attitude. It makes him very tough to handle. David, thank you. Now the starting group for Orlando. Fournier and Gordon on the wings. Marvin Bagley is out there with Gallinari. And it's Russell in at the 1. And for the Timberwolves, They've got Saric. He's out there with Towns. Fultz is out there with Richardson. And it's Trent in at the shooting guard position. Now, here is Gallinari. Clock at 6. Pulls it up. A rebound by the Timberwolves. Last time they faced off, it was right here at home where they couldn't get it done.
Yeah, and their last time playing against this club, they fell short. A lot of cheap fouls really plagued their starting unit.
You know, you try to establish consistent substitution patterns. It helps you stay in a rhythm, and they had to go to their bench much too early.
Now, here is Gallinari. Following the miss by Josh Richardson. With the shot. A nice shot by Gallinari. Early on, players vying for larger roles and more minutes, and Doris, always interesting to see how all of that materializes.
Yeah, Kev, I think unless you have a veteran team who's maybe been in the playoffs and established themselves, there's nothing set in stone yet. Obviously, guys are looking to prove themselves from the very moment that ball is tipped up in the air. And who gets a rhythm early? Who starts off strong? Let's see.
I'm looking forward to it as well. Now, here's Gordon. Following the miss by Josh Richardson. Bagley dishes to Fournier. Back to Bagley. Front past the arc. And the three ball is good.
Well, Evan Fournier is a fundamentally sound player. And if his teammates are open, he will deliver the rock.
Fultz the pass to Towns. Richardson left side. Back to Towns. Right wing. Lets it go. That's good from Fultz on the assist by Towns.
Whenever Fultz is in a catch-and-shoot situation, you know he can't wait for that ball to find his hands.
Now, here is Russell. He's coming off a 28-point game against Chicago.
And equally spent as much energy on his D. I mean, 4 steals kind of tell the story.
And Orlando again with the bucket.
Wow, how about the start to this game? Taking excellent shots, capitalizing on everything the defense is giving him. This is great stuff.
Now here's Saric. He had a 24-point outing in their last game against Houston. Trent offline with his 3. Magic leading by 5. To the inside. And Gallinari throws it down.
Boy, don't you love to see Aaron Gordon make these kinds of decisions. This guy is fully capable of recognizing open teammates.
Towns. Back to Fultz. No good. And Orlando the other way now.
You think about the Timberwolves, the one thing that seems elusive for this organization has been consistency. They have had the talent. They've had good coaching. The problem is they haven't yet put those 2 areas together.
Timeout called, first of the game for Minnesota. And the Wolves, Doris, one of only 11 franchises to have never won a championship. In fact, they've made the Western Conference Finals only once.
I think one of their challenges, at least in this latest run, has been they're competing with a very young core. And certainly you have added veterans to the group. The problem is the core guys have to understand how to step up when it's winning time. What we understand is playoff performance is most important.
The Magic making a switch here. Biombo, he's checked in for Marvin Bagley. Daniel Tice comes in for Gallinari. Hachimura, he's checked in for Gordon. And it's Carter Williams in for D'Angelo Russell. Offensive rebound. And he gets contact and the whistle on the shot. 2 shots coming up.
As an NBA player, I think you have to be willing to embrace contact, and Evan Fournier does it right there.
And so Fournier nails both of them. Here's Trier. 1:14 left to play in the first quarter. Pass to Towns. Shoots over Biombo, and that one's good. Towns.
Well, you want to see this from Karl Anthony Towns. He's got the size, the length, and the touch to take and make high percentage shots.
Passes it to Hachimura. There's 48 seconds left in the first quarter of the game. Shot clock at 6. And it's Carter Williams in the corner. Another miss by Orlando. Timberwolves trail by 9 to the wing on the left. Here's a Kogi. The kick out to Towns. Shoots a three. It's rebounded by Carter Williams. Pass to Fournier. And they call an illegal screen here.
When a pick like that is questionable and creates that much of an advantage for the offense, you have to blow the whistle.
I don't think there's any question, Greg. There are so many rules that favor the offense these days. You've got to be able to equal things out when an illegal screen is set. This guy is a pick-your-poison kind of player. Very hard defensively to cover all your bases with him.
And so the first quarter is in the books. Magic lead by 7. And we'll get it going after this from the Target Center. All-star big man Karl Anthony Towns is hungry to maximize it.
I want to be the best player who ever played. And
on his coaches, Greg, and teammates love hearing that.
And how can you not? I mean, that kind of drive is special. And with his tools and potential, hard to put a ceiling on just how good he can be.
And hope you've enjoyed the broadcast so far. Halfway through the first half in this one. And before we move on, what do you guys think about what we've seen so far from the Magic?
What we saw in that first quarter, they won their matchups defensively.
I think across the board, a number of guys who've done a great job guarding multiple positions.
They've got Karl Anthony Towns, Trier out there with Mills, and there's Bryant, and it's Okogie in at the small forward position. That's the 5 to begin the second quarter for the Timberwolves. There's the pass to Carter Williams. Doris, you've said this often. It is incredibly difficult to compare guys of different positions in different eras, isn't it?
It really is. There's so many discussions about who's the GOAT, who's the greatest of all potential time. And there are certain names that are always going to pop to the top of the list, LeBron James. But it's very difficult to me, say, to compare a Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, one of the greatest to ever man the center position, had the impossible to check sky hook. But how do you compare him with LeBron James, who, though he is, and I don't know what position he is, he may be the greatest passer in the history of the league. Like, let's enjoy individual greatness without comparison.
Pass to Hachimura. A rebound by the Timberwolves. Bryant's got his 4th rebound in this one. Pass to Trier. To the left side wing. Mills dishes to Towns. Pass to Trier. And it's denied.
And that's a welcome sign for sure. Hachimura demonstrating a willingness to want to improve as a defender.
Good work there as it goes.
I love the ball movement there. He put that on a silver platter. Just served him up.
Minnesota calls timeout. As the teams head into this timeout, a chance for the coaches now to map out some plays for the next few minutes and a chance for the players to rehydrate with some Gatorade. That's important if they want to make sure they don't wear down later in the game.
Absolutely. Over the course of a game, you have to stay hydrated.
For the Magic, Marvin Bagley's checked in for Biyombo. Alinari comes in for Daniel Tice. And Gordon subbed in for Hachimura. Volts kicks to Richardson. Here's Bryant. And a good offensive board. And he gets the bucket. Bryant's got 4 this quarter.
The tenacity on the interior, just battling, bringing that effort and will for second chance points.
Outside, Russell. The pass to Gallinari. Over Saric. And it's Gallinari missing.
I'm sure he's kicking himself. He hates to blow that kind of opportunity.
Well, maybe not the most well-known player in the league, but Josh Richardson has been a big source of offense, and Greggy's done it for a while now.
A bit of a specialist, but Richardson has no problem putting up and making threes.
Here's Bryant. Orlando grabs the miss. They've led by as many as 11 points. And Carter Williams gets it to go on the assist by Russell. And the Magic lead by 6.
When Russell gets his teammates involved, it makes this entire team better, and it'll make him more effective at the point position.
Fultz the pass to Bryant. And 2 free throws coming up, unable to get that one to go with all the contact. Marvin Bagley picks one up.
No question, he got bumped on that shot.
The Timberwolves shooting their first free throws of the game. Both good from the line that time.
And the coaching carousel in Orlando for a few years has now become a point of stability.
Greg, there is no doubt Steve Clifford has done an amazing job in such a very short window of time. And that's after overcoming his own individual health concerns that forced him to take a 21-game leave of absence. What an incredible turnaround for the team and for Cliff himself.
To the paint, here's Sharp. Draws contact on the shot, and now a three-point play chance as he'll head to the line.
There is a heart and passion that Saric brings to the game every night. Good job initiating contact. You think back to after the trade from Philadelphia, Dario Saric had a hard time getting settled in with Minnesota. They started him in a bench role, and it wasn't until he became a starter that you saw his productivity increase.
Outside Gordon. Fires from deep. Good, and the assist goes to Russell.
Wow, burying that jumper on a more consistent basis. Aaron Gordon superb at realizing when to pull the trigger.
Fultz dishes to Richardson. Pass to Saric. Back to Richardson. Softly drops in the floater.
Boy, that's beautiful touch on the floater. And let's remember, not everyone has that shot in their arsenal.
Outside Fournier. Inside, it's stolen by Fultz. In the corner, it's Richardson. To the middle, here's Saric. Can't tie it up as that one misses. And here's Fournier. Lets it go with a three. And no luck with that time on the buzzer beater. And some good action through the first. Thank you, David. And we'll be right back after halftime to start the third quarter.
It's the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Ernie Johnson here with Shaq and Kenny, and a favorite time of the year as we're halfway through one of the... Orlando had no problems getting going. Some major league offense and defense. Thanks for joining.
Second half of basketball upon us. We may be in for an exciting finish based on how close of a game that's been so far. You look at Towns, he's really been playing well.
You just love the patience in that first half. Waited until he got the look he wanted.
You know, as a coach, you can preach good shot selection, but it's up to the players to execute, and this guy has done just that.
And so in the game for the Magic, Fournier and Gordon on the wing. Gallinari is out there with Bagley, and it's Russell in at the point.
Boy, you could see their confidence growing. They have reason to believe.
What I love, Greg, is the heart, the fire, the tenacity. This is absolutely fantastic.
Just his first attempt. Count it. And the Magic lead by 2.
Well, this is a main strength of D'Angelo Russell. When he gets room to shoot from the mid-range, there's no hesitation.
Fultz kicks to Richardson. To the paint. Here's Towns. Solid shot from the distance of about 14 feet. Towns has got 9.
And big men who can shoot really changes the dynamic of your offense.
It's almost gotten to the point where you have to be able to hit that face-up jumper nowadays. Very few exceptions to that rule.
And Russell with the basket on the assist by Bagley. Russell's got his second bucket.
Okay, D'Angelo Russell mixing in a little interior work, not bashful.
Fultz with the ball. Russell's there. Fades away. Rebound by the Magic. Bagley's got rebound number 5 here tonight. Just over a minute and a half have passed here in the third quarter. Gallinari outside. He dishes it to Bagley. Shooting foul as the whistle blows. He'll shoot 2 free throws. Doris, so interesting to watch 7-footers who almost never shot 3-pointers make that now a featured part of their game.
Give some credit to the coaches who recognized the game was being revolutionized and that 3-point shooting, regardless of position, would become integral to success. So a guy like Marc Gasol, who actually fought the idea of taking threes, Brooke Lopez, Nikola Vucevic, all of them have become more integral to team success and more capable NBA players because they can shoot the basketball. It's beautiful.
It is. Evolving and adapting at that size has been something to watch. And off target that time from Trier. And it's Carter Williams with the ball for the Magic. Following this one, they get to host the Hornets. That game is the first and last of their homestand. Here's a Kogi. It's deflected. Outside Fournier. They get it back.
And his coaches and teammates love that. They want Hachimura getting after it more on that offensive line.
Saric outside. Passes it to Okogie. Tries a 3. It's rebounded by Carter Williams. Carter Williams has got 4 rebounds now tonight. And he drops in the layup off the glass. And now it's an 8-point Orlando lead.
And how's that for a move? The killer crossover. It's a thing of beauty.
And the Timberwolves call time here.
I think one thing you have to love about the Timberwolves, their aggression on the offensive end. This is a team that has been top 10 in free throw attempts over the last 8 years. And when they get to the line, they do convert.
Ryan, he's checked in for Minnesota. Then for the Magic. Biombo, he's checked in for Gallinari. And D'Angelo Russell subbed in for Michael Carter Williams. Now here's Mills. He's tightly guarded. The kick out to Towns. Another miss by Minnesota. And part of why the Wolves get to the line so much, they take a lot of 2-point shots.
And that's a trade-off, right, Kev? We all know the analytics like the 3-point shot. They like restricted area 2s. But the best way to get to the line is to challenge the teeth of that defense. You can't do that from 25 feet away, guys.
And they're forcing the ball inside, and it's working like a charm.
We've got 1:18 left to play in the third.
The edge on the glass is the difference. It's allowed them to build this lead.
Fournier makes it off the glass. Fournier's got the lead up to 12 now for the Magic.
And now you see them starting to really work the ball inside.
Mills passes to Towns. No good that time.
And this quarter, he has clearly been off the mark.
Fournier for 3. The putback. Tice with the ball. Working on Bryant. Tries yet again. Hachimura, no good. Minnesota's gotten blank from 3-point land so far in the third. Still 0 for 3. There's 25 seconds left in the third quarter. Just 5 on the clock. Count it, and the Orlando lead has been cut down to 10 on the bucket from Trier.
Pick works well there. Not much resistance from the D.
It takes incredible effort to stay connected to the hip of the offensive player. You've got to want to work.
Russell with it. From deep 3-point range, offline. And so it's Orlando with a 10-point lead. Some breathing room heading into the break. Their defense has been active and effective. We'll get right back to the action when we return. And now let's take a listen on head coach Steve Clifford.
Good offense. What? You got back.
Fourth quarter of action is upon us. Thanks as always for joining us. Orlando leading by 10. Josh Richardson out there with Bryant. Then it's Karl Anthony Towns. And there's Fultz. And it's Trent in at the 2-guard. So that's the lineup for Minnesota. Bagley kicks to Russell. 6 to shoot. The Magic need to get a shot off here. Here's Gordon. That shot off the mark. And Minnesota now the other way. Gordon against Richardson. Here's Fultz. Outside, Towns. Richardson against Gordon. Richardson, no luck.
Boy, this guy is a good finisher, so he misses a chippy. That's tough to take.
Boom, he jams it straight down.
Well, if you're going to play the point guard position, critical that D'Angelo Russell continue to develop that aspect of his game. Nice pass.
Fultz dishes to Richardson. Two free throws coming up, and they call the shooting foul.
Boy, guys, when you consider Orlando and 6 straight years in the lottery, the talent they had accumulated, their last draft obviously breaking the streak.
And Doris, some of those Magic lottery players were ultimately traded in their rookie deals.
Well, think about it, Kevin. Oladipo, Payton, and Hazonia all gone. How do they view the Ibaka trade ultimately? What we know unequivocally, guys, is Orlando is willing to shuffle the deck until they get the cards they want.
The kick out to Towns. Kept alive, Minnesota. Saric had a chance there to cut it to single digits, but it's off target. Gallinari passes to Russell. And we're about 2 minutes into the fourth quarter now. Shot from the wing, and good, as it just snugs right down through the net.
And with the lead, I like the strategy here. Continue to get the ball to guys who can do something with it.
One thing we've learned in the NBA, the game is never over. So you've got to continue to score, continue to build your lead.
Gordon against Richardson. There's the triple. Gallinari with the rebound. Gallinari's got 4 rebounds in this game.
Yeah, it's been about the rebounding. Really, that's the dividing line in this game.
Timberwolves trail by 12. Out to the right wing. Here's Fultz. And it's wide right. Hits off the rim. Gallinari down low. Richardson covering. Pass to Russell. It's up a 3. A three-pointer is right on target.
Arguably the most dangerous weapon in D'Angelo Russell's arsenal. This guy...
Here's the starting group for Houston. Robert Covington out there with Anthony. Then it's P.J. Tucker. Then it's Harden. And it's Rose in at the point. And for Toronto, Siakam at power forward with Gasol at center. Lowry out there with Thomas. And it's DeRozan in at the 3 spot.
It's common to see wing players improve their perimeter shooting in the league, but DeMar DeRozan's most striking growth has been his ball handling and playmaking. He's been dynamic with the ball in his hands.
DeMar DeRozan on the wing. No good from outside. And it's Anthony with the ball for the Houston Rockets to the inside. A nice shot by Tucker.
Even though he lacks some size, Tucker's strength makes up for it. He competes inside.
And Greg DeRozan watching a ton of films of guys like Andre Miller and Sam Cassell operating in the pick and roll.
Not only that, Kevin, to strengthen his left hand, he'd use it for daily activities like writing, leaving no stone unturned to become an expert initiator.
Now Rose following the miss by Kyle Lowry from deep. And there's the pass to Harden. And that one clearly a foul. Gets the whistle and 2 shots coming up. It's going to be on Siakam.
The night Harden put up 60 points and had a triple-double. That was so amazing. I got to mention that's incredible.
First trip to the free throw line for him in this one.
And worth mentioning, guys, the free throw percentage he brought in from last season, how about 88%?
First free throw is good.
And sometimes I feel like people don't truly appreciate the greatness of what James Harden does. He's one of the toughest guys to check on the fast break. He has one of the best Euro steps in the game, the best footwork in the game. He'll hit you in the head for deep. You can't check him without fouling him. The precision of his movements, the ease in which he scores. Come on, man. That's just the product of good pass work. I mean, nice team basketball right there.
Anthony finds Rose, and here's Covington from the arc. Another miss by Houston. Toronto's gone 0 of 2 from deep here. As you said, C. Webb, what Harden has been doing the last few years is truly remarkable.
Yeah, Kevin, and it's funny because when you are achieving greatness and critics try to diminish what you're doing, it's just funny to me. Harden is one of the great guards of all time, no matter how you slice it.
Gets the three-pointer to fall.
And he's not going to miss that sort of an opportunity from deep.
Rose kicks to Anthony. And contact on the shot, so he'll be shooting free throws here. It's going to be on Siakam.
I tell you what, he earned his money on that foul.
Well, the Raptors' Nick Nurse winning an NBA title in his first season. Greg is an NBA head coach.
The first time a head coach who'd also helmed a team in a foreign league has won it. Nurse often reminisces fondly on those days coaching in Europe. And this summer he was entrusted with coaching the Canadian national team at the FIBA World Cup.
The first one falls.
Yeah, it's no doubt that Houston now is championship or bust. We've seen it. I mean, they've dished out huge contracts going full win mode now. I mean, they're putting it all on the line with this team.
Serge Ibaka has checked in for the Raptors. And the Rockets desperate for a return to the NBA Finals.
The team has had their chances. They just need to make the most of them. I mean, front office, they're doing what they can help to make the most of Harden's prime. I mean, you have to admire their willingness to go for it now.
And once he got to the 10, I think he was surprised to find himself that wide open.
Yeah, very little resistance. I mean, you had to bring much faster help than that.
Now, here's Covington. He's coming off a 10-point game against the Lakers. Shoots from 8, and Anthony gets it to go.
And love the muscle Anthony brings to the 3 spot. Takes pride in outworking everyone when he's that deep inside.
Thomas against Harden. Thomas goes in, and he gets the whistle. 2 free throws coming up. And the official start of the season, Chris. Is there any opening day for you that sticks out in the many years you played the NBA?
One opening game, and I don't remember who we played, but I know it was with Allen Iverson. And AI and I had meetings before the season, and we were talking about just how much we wanted to win. We knew we were coming up on the end of our careers, and I remember never entering a preseason with so much hope, because I knew that he was in, I knew that I was in, and we knew that we both wanted it so bad. So I think we both scored 30 or did something crazy like that. I don't remember, but coming out with him that preseason was so special, because I knew we were going to set the tone for how our team was going to play, and we were engaged that year.
First quarter of action, just under 3.5 minutes played. Missed inside. Rockets trail by 3. Ahead. Rebounded by Serge Ibaka. Toronto's gone 1 of 3 from beyond the arc so far in the game. McCaw, the pass to Ibaka. Scored the basket, his second of 2 attempts.
A high percentage look there for Ibaka. He can be automatic in there when given room.
Ennis passes to Ariza. Down low, here's Carroll, and he uses the glass on the layup.
And their post play has been really solid right off the bat.
Pass to Hollis Jefferson. Passes to McCaw. Thomas surveying the D. Shot clock at 5. Out to the wing. Over Ennis. Morris with the rebound.
Oh, he found the open space from mid-range. Just maybe rushed his release a little bit.
7-second difference. Shot and game clock. And too long on the shot. Back to Hollis Jefferson. And that shot was up in time, but doesn't go in. 1 quarter in the books, and it's been a close one so far. Raptors lead by 3. And the second quarter about to get started. We'll be back in just a moment. Making his mark in Toronto, guard Kyle Lowry talked about the pioneers of Canadian basketball, like Vince Carter.
Vince Carter really changed the game of basketball in Canada. He created something that's forever lasting, and I think the game of basketball in Canada owes him a lot, because he really brought the buzz to the game of basketball in Canada.
Couldn't have said it better myself. Carter's exciting style of play, GA, really energized the whole country.
And playing basketball in a hockey town isn't easy, but Carter really helped get this city and country energized about the game of basketball.
And if you're just tuning in, it's been a pretty even game through the first quarter. And from what we've seen so far from the Raptors guys, your thoughts?
Well, when you control the glass, you control the second chance opportunities on both ends.
You're exactly right, GA. I mean, they've been quicker to the ball, showing great anticipation and terrific hustle.
This is how the floor looks for the Rockets starting the second. They've got Trevor Ariza. Ennis out there with Morris. Then it's Damari Carroll. And it's Grant in at the 5.
Well, the Rockets are a team that is pushing NBA theory to the extremes with how they approach offense.
Oh, yeah. Every year they seem to go more toward threes or free throws. I mean, you can't fault them as it consistently works for them, though. I mean, it's like watching a team experiment with what makes an NBA offense.
Here's McCaw. 5-point lead, the biggest of the game. Pass to Hollis Jefferson. The pass to McCaw. Outside Thomas. Here's Ibaka. He doesn't hit that one. Some solid defense from Grant. They could use a big shot here to get this offense going.
Too many empty possessions. Right now, they need a basket. All right, a chance to check out stats for Ariza. Last season's performance for him, he was around 12 points a game, 5 rebounds, and 3 assists. He's been making the right decisions and letting the game come to him. Solid play all around.
Yeah, GA, I like it because he's not overcomplicating things. I mean, he's just playing to his strengths and taking what the defense gives him.
And he knocks down the first one. Chris, is there someone you competed with that you feel is underrated by history, has not been given their due?
Oh, yeah, definitely. I think when you look at White Chocolate, Jason Williams, what he started in the culture of play and what he continued. And you look at Ben Wallace, who I played with 4 years at Washington, and he was coming off the bench there, and we saw that potential with him. I mean, the way he led the league in rebounding, his defensive prowess. I mean, the Pistons wouldn't have had a championship and gotten to another final if it wasn't for him. And also, I got to shout my man out, Mike Bibby and Peja Stojakovic, two of the best shooters I've played with.
Oh, great names, and I totally agree. Now, here's DeRozan from the high post, and he gets the jumper to drop. DeRozan's got 6.
And the lack of effort to fight over the screen there makes that an easy shot.
We see this all too often. You have to be willing to put it on.
DeRozan against Harden. From 11 feet away, it's hauled in by the Raptors.
And they haven't been able to turn it into a big lead, but their rebounding advantage is starting to add up.
Siakam passes to Gasol. A shot by Lowry. Wide open. Cans it from downtown. And it's an 8-point Raptor lead.
They've settled into a nice groove offensively here in the second.
And so it's Morris with it. He'll bring it up for the Rockets. And on our sideline, our reporter, David Aldridge.
Well, Kevin, Kyle Lowry is hard-nosed, as we all know. And if you ask him, it comes from his upbringing in Philadelphia. Lowry said, a Philly player is what a basketball player is. We played on concrete. You got to be mentally tough. You're not trying to be athletic. You get hit the wrong way, you run into a metal pole. Kevin, that's what made him. From Philly to Villanova to Toronto to an NBA champion.
I don't know about running into the metal pole, but that sounds painful. But he's certainly as tough as he can be. David, thank you. Here's DeRozan. James Harden picking up that last basket. And DeRozan, here we go. Got it. And he's now 3 for 5 from the field.
And he just glides to the hoop on his drives. DeRozan's got plenty of force to his game. Don't get me wrong, but he makes everything look so effortless.
Raptors leading by 5. 1:10 left in the first half of the game. Lays it up and banks it in.
His individual effort has been outstanding tonight, and it's helped him grab the lead.
And now the first timeout called here for the Rockets. Last time they met was in Toronto, where they beat the Raptors.
Yeah, and they picked up the win in their last game against this club, and really it was a parade to the free throw line.
Well, it tells you a lot about who's the more aggressive team. I mean, they should have that same exact attitude tonight.
Houston making a switch here. Rose is checked in.
All right, a chance to check out stats for Lowry. Good season for him last year. Last season, put up about 14 points a game, 8 assists, and 5 rebounds. And he has been passing the ball like a virtuoso. That's what really stands out about these recent performances.
Hey, every symphony needs a conductor. He unifies his teammates, sets the tempo, and they make some sweet, sweet music.
Now here's Anthony. He had a 21-point outing in their last game against the Lakers in Los Angeles. Inside, and DeRozan throws it down.
And he can do a lot more damage to the rim than that when he wants to.
Oh, you're right. And with the lead they're enjoying, I'm surprised he didn't put a little something extra on that one. Here's Rose. No points in the game yet for him. Kicks it to Tucker. Over Gasol. The Rockets with another miss.
You can't look at the result of that shot. They'll take that whenever they get it.
You're exactly right. I mean, that's the kind of shot you're trying to work for at the offensive end.
Now, here's Siakam. Lays it up off the glass. Siakam's got the lead up to 11 now for Toronto.
But when you allow good scorers to get uncontested shots at the rim, no wonder you're losing.
Yeah. Horrible effort. It appears they may be on the brink of giving up. They tailored their offense around him. And let me tell you, he loves playing in this system.
The clock runs out, and we're heading to halftime. The Raptors out in front, leading by 8. And a chance now to send it over to David Aldridge, standing by courtside. David.
Thank you, Kevin. Kyle, a good first half for you all. How do you continue that for the rest of the game?
We got to come out with our energy. We got to come out and play our game and keep going out there and pushing. Our defense and everybody's rotating, so we're playing together right now.
We'll see if you stay connected in the second half. Thanks. Back to you, Kevin.
All right, thank you, David. And folks, don't go away. After the break, we'll see you right back here for the start of quarter number 3.
And now, the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Ernie Johnson here with Shaq and Kenny, and a favorite time of the year as we're halfway through one of the first games of this fresh NBA season. DeMar DeRozan putting in some serious work for the team tonight. He had 12 points, 2 rebounds, and 1 block. He's clearly shaken off his mediocre performance from their last game as he has been dominant in the first half tonight. And let's get your thoughts, big fella, on the Raptors.
Terrific half from DeMar DeRozan. You love his consistency. One of the best scorers in the league for the last 6-7 years. I thought he was the key to their success in the first half.
How about you, Kenny? What did you think about Houston?
Well, I think their problem is rebounding, Ernie. You know, when you're trying to come back in a game, every possession counts because each possession can turn into points, and you need to cut that deficit quickly.
And that'll do it for our halftime report. Stay tuned for the second half. About to get underway.
And we've got third quarter of basketball for you. 2 quarters in the books. A fantastic game from DeMar DeRozan so far.
No problems fighting his way to the rim in this one. A lot of points in close.
Yeah, slicing through the gaps in the defense. I mean, getting many of his buckets in the paint.
So it's the Rockets now, trailing here by 8. Third quarter action getting rolling right now, brought to you by Gatorade, all fueled up and ready to go. Here's who's on the floor. So the Raptors 5 right now. Siakam at power forward with Gasol at center. Lowry out there with Thomas. And it's DeRozan in at the 3. And here's DeRozan. James Harden getting it to go from deep. Lowry can't get it to go.
And over the last few seasons, Kyle Lowry's scoring trending downward. His assists increasing, though, dramatically, relying more on his teammates to get the job done. It's a great move, and he catches the defense completely off guard.
You'd like to see a little more energy coming out of halftime on the defensive end.
Thomas's shot is off. Rockets trail by 3. And they have certainly been looking locked in offensively.
They sure have, staying aggressive and playing under control.
And we've seen Lowry settling for more perimeter shots in recent years.
I mean, he's always had a great motor, but you have to adapt as you get older. Some back issues starting to creep in, and important for him to stay healthy along the way.
Rose, and the layup's good off the glass. Rose has got his 3rd basket of the night.
They've been very sharp to start the half. A perfect 4 for 4 from the field.
And here's Lowry. He'll bring it up for the Toronto Raptors. They've led by as many as 11 points. Covington against DeRozan. 5 on the clock. The Raptors need to get a shot. Thomas's shot is off.
Well, he's got a great stroke. That one almost dropped.
Here's Covington, and he jams it with authority.
And that's the role they want for Rose, getting guys going through his passing, especially when he can find them in rhythm.
Now let's go to the sideline and catch up with our Hall of Famer, David Aldridge.
Well, Kevin, after 5 years as an assistant in Toronto, last season Nick Nurse moved to head coach of the Raptors, and the team responded, winning the franchise's first NBA championship. Nurse has been at this for 3 decades. He got his first head coaching position at the age of 23, and he has moved all throughout basketball, both domestically and abroad, guiding 15 teams in 5 different countries. After winning it all last year, Kevin, he's finally made it to the top.
David, he sure has a long and winding journey. Thank you. All players look for an edge, Chris. For example, certain guys are just so deceptive with the ball in their hands. I mean, you're always looking for whatever can give you that advantage.
Two of the best players, and people can complain as much as they want, but Harden getting to the line is genius because he knows how you're guarding him, and basically you got to stay away from him to guard him because he's so skilled. And by the way, Curry does the same thing, and Curry, one of the smaller players in the league, but always finding a way to take the contact, take the bump, but to get the scoring up. And I think as a fan, for me, I know as a fan, for me, it's fun watching the cat and mouse game between the offensive player and the defender, seeing who can get the best of each other while involving the ref.
They just control their bodies so well. They know exactly what they need to do to get that call.
And it's all on the spur of the moment. I mean, this is all on the fly. Such genius to watch play.
And some changes here for the Raptors. Boucher is checked in, and it's Rondae Hollis-Jefferson in for Thomas. Houston with a big group substitution here. Grant, he's checked in for P.J. Tucker. Reza comes in for Anthony. Damari Carroll's checked in for Robert Covington. And it's Ennis in for James Harden. Now here's Ennis following the miss by DeRozan. Pass to Ariza. Rose looking around. Lets the 3 fly. Boucher with the rebound.
When he forgets about him on the perimeter, they're playing with fire. Lucky they don't get burned here.
Hollis-Jefferson passes to McCaw. Outside DeRozan. Boucher kicks to DeRozan. That one falls through. It's his 6th make from the floor this game. Now 6 for 10.
And that assist got him a little nod from his teammate after that one.
Here's Rose, and Rose throws it down hard.
And without question, Derrick Rose is one of the most athletic players the league has ever seen. Right there, reminding us just what he can do.
They've been struggling here on offense.
Yeah, a bit of a dry spell for sure.
Stolen by Grant. Rose attacking and finished off by Rose.
And defensively, you've got to play Rose for the drive. You let him get to the rim, and you throw it down on your head.
Siakam outside. Here's Boucher. He's covered by Grant. And Grant sends it back. And so it looks like the Raptors will retain possession here. The Raptors making a switch here. Ibaka's checked in. Monte Morris is checked in for the Rockets. There's 49 seconds left in the third. Just 4 to shoot. Here's DeRozan. No basket. That's his 5th miss in 11 attempts from the floor.
And if they're thinking they can get a 2-for-1 here.
And they just have to manage the clock correctly. Now, sometimes it's easier said than done if you also want to get a good look.
And Toronto has possession following the miss by Derrick Rose. DeRozan scanning the floor. Boucher passes to Hollis-Jefferson. Here's DeRozan. Oh, the power on that Pruden.
And guys, I don't know that this is the time for that kind of flair. In a close game, the important thing is to get the 2 points, not necessarily the dramatics.
Oh, come on. He had to go for that, didn't he? My goodness. And here's Rose outside. A shot missing. We're at the end of the third, and we've still got a close one. Rockets on top, ending the third quarter with a tremendous 17-6 run. We'll be back shortly, live from Toronto. Let's hear what Mike D'Antoni was going over with his team moments ago.
It's a long game, guys, so let's play. Every possession. Gonna be some ups and downs. Do all the little things.
Patient words from Mike D'Antoni, recognizing that the game is long and that stamina is critical.
Yeah, but at the same time, commanding them to remain engaged. No time to take possessions off.
Well, this has been a great contest so far, and I imagine the fourth quarter could have even more action in store for us. So on the floor for Houston, Morris is out there with Rose. Then it's Trevor Ariza. Then there's Jeremy Grant, and it's Tucker in at the 5 spot. Now here's DeRozan. Ibaka outside. From the wing. But he gets it back. Passes it to Hollis Jefferson. Now Lowry. 4 on the shot clock. Second shot opportunity, and the jumper is on the mark.
And with the body control and jump shot Lowry possesses, he has been known to torch you from the perimeter.
Now here's Rose. Grant, right side, over Ibaka. Grant, that's good. Grant's got the lead, back up to 5 now for the Rockets. Lowry kicks to DeRozan, back to Lowry. Final quarter of play, about a minute and a half off the clock into it. Pass to DeRozan. And he banks in the layup.
And how about the grit and determination in the post? I mean, essential qualities to have late in a close game.
Now a timeout called by Houston. Marcus All is checked in for the Raptors. Thomas comes in for Hollis Jefferson. And then for Houston, Carmelo Anthony is checked in for Grant. Robert Covington comes in for Trevor Ariza. And James Harden has subbed in for Morris. All right, let's catch up with our sideline reporter, David Aldridge.
Kevin, I was able to listen in on what Mike D'Antoni was talking about with his team. He really got after him in the huddle. He said, look, you can rest after the game. You got to put it all out there if you want to win this one. Back to you guys.
Thank you, David.
And not allowing the shooter even an inch of breathing room on that one.
Yeah, Greg, that's just great defense, forcing his man into a difficult attempt. But he doesn't have a clear path to the hoop, so why not? I mean, pull up and bury the 3 in transition.
DeRozan against Covington. And DeRozan, here we go. Banked in off the glass. DeRozan's got 20 points.
And you want to talk about high volume scores, just look at what DeRozan's doing tonight. He's been on a mission, putting his mark on this game in a big way.
Now here's Rose. Outside Covington. Anthony up on top. Fires it up. And the Rockets getting another bucket right there.
And terrific floor awareness. I mean, it's obvious Covington has a great feel for when his teammates are wide open.
To the wing right side. 3-pointer, Lowry. That's good. He's 5 for 9.
The defenders need to recognize the importance of staying on him as we get into crunch time.
Rose, that's good. Rose has got 4 points this quarter.
The burst, the tight handles, all of it makes Derrick Rose one tough cover defensively.
Toronto calls timeout. They're down by 7. We've got 1:48 left to play in the final quarter. edition of our Jordan Player of the Game, Derrick Rose.
And in terms of his shooting, this has been one of the more accurate performances you'll ever see. I mean, he's been in constant motion, creating a lot of good looks for himself. But still, even when you're wide open, you expect to miss some of the time. And that has not been the case here tonight. This guy has made everything.
There must be something about playing in a hostile environment that drives it. He has really fed off that.
Pick works well there. Not much resistance from the D.
It's a lazy effort. Let's just be honest. Hoping the shooter misses, that doesn't constitute defense.
Tucker can't get it to go.
It's not easy to keep him from converting those. I mean, the D has to be airtight.
Here's DeRozan. Good D by Covington.
And he did everything he could to make that shot as difficult as possible.
Excellent D, avoiding fouling and got in the perfect position to alter the shot.
They get it back. Tucker can't get it to go. Raptors trail by 5. Outside Thomas. The pass to Gasol. DeRozan against Anthony. Outside DeRozan. It's rebounded by Houston. And so they foul intentionally. And Tucker has it in the corner. The Rockets with another miss. And so Thomas will bring it up for the Raptors. It's 9 seconds separating the shot clock and game clock. Good D by Harden. And now they decide to foul intentionally. And the first of 2, no good. Heartbreaker. And he does get the second one. And that increases their lead to 6. And the Raptors call time here. They're behind by 6. 15 seconds left in the game. What do you think, guys? And the Raptors with the ball. On deep. And it goes out of bounds. That one's off Anthony. Lowry for 3. Trifecta.
And all of a sudden, that 3 puts them in striking distance, guys. He's had that shot working all night.
That's the big reason this game is still so close. I mean, he's been lights out from long range.
Timeout called. The Rockets. They're up by 3. 7 seconds left in the fourth quarter of this one. 7 seconds left to play here in the fourth. And now an intentional foul. They need the ball back as soon as possible.
And you know what? Smart foul. You got to try and extend the game.
And so both free throws are good. And it's a 5-point game.
You've got to figure those are the free throws that officially put this game out of reach.
there's Dragic, and it's Robinson in at the 2. And for the Jazz, they've got Favors. John Collins is out there with Bogdanovich. Then there's Bledsoe, and it's Conley in at the point. Dragic finds Iguodala. Bledsoe against Robinson. Outside Butler. Just 5 to shoot from 18 feet away. Here's Adebayo. And Adebayo throws it down.
And that's a lesson for the D. Fight harder on the glass.
Yeah, you just can't afford to give up second chance opportunities again and again.
Now here's Conley. And Bledsoe now top of the key. That misses, so no good on his first attempt of the night. And it's Dragic bringing up the ball for the Heat. Well, you watch Goran Dragic play, and Brent, he's so deceptive with his movement both on and off the ball.
Yeah, I think one of the reasons why, Kevin, is the change of speeds. I also add the fact that guys who can handle the ball and are crafty and are left-handed, boy, it's tough on a nightly basis to change up your mindset to guard a guy who you know is going to go left all the time as opposed to right. Trust me, in practice, I had to do that with Manu Ginobili a ton of time in San Antonio. Dragic similar. Great use of speed change.
And Greg, when you look at the top perimeter defenders in the game today, how high does Jimmy Butler rank on that list?
Look, he's in the top handful, no doubt about it. Multiple all-defense selections. He is a true two-way terror.
That free throw good from Butler. And you look at Jimmy Butler. Goes about 6'8", about 230 pounds. Great size on the wing.
And he keeps himself in tip-top shape. His strength, one thing I'm not sure the casual fan even recognizes.
The starting gate, opening night in the NBA, Brent. What are you most looking forward to?
I just like to see who it is that, in terms of their competitive spirit right now, is coming out of training camp hungry. Let's see in the next couple weeks which team jumps out and which coaching staffs have done a great job preparing their team coming out of camp. Now, we know that teams can't fall off, Kevin. The talent will catch up. Other veteran teams may get themselves back into a rhythm. But coming out of training camp, how much more together are teams and teams that have made changes? What are they playing like?
What's their chemistry?
Let's find out how they're going to play this year.
Here's Dragic. Michael Conley making his last shot. Here's Iguodala. Bogdanovich grabs the miss.
That's a surprise. I mean, really out of character for him to miss when the defense is not right up on him.
And he gets the bucket.
I love Bogdanovich's ability to put the team first. When he sees one of his guys open, he's a willing ball mover.
To the inside, and Adebayo throws it down.
Oh, such a beautiful pass to set that one up.
Yeah, the pass might have been pretty, but the finish was angry. Conley finds Favors. Outside, Bogdanovich. Conley against Dragic. Now here is Conley, guarded closer. That's basket number 2 with his third shot off to a fast 2 for 3. Pass to Dragic. 1:57 left in the first quarter. Great positioning on the putback. Adebayo's got 6 points.
Oh, a nice tip in to salvage the points from that missed shot.
Yeah, and those second chance points can add up. Timeout is called, first of the game for the Jazz.
Well, Bam at 6'10" might be a little bit undersized, but there's something in his activity on a nightly basis, Kevin, that feels like he plays bigger. Just a pogo stick, gets around, covers some ground laterally, and does a great job of both protecting the rim and finishing strong.
So Utah ends up going with the new group, and a new group in for the Heat. Olenek, he's checked in for Bam Adebayo. Gay comes in for Butler. Derek Jones, he's checked in for Andre Iguodala. And Hero subbed in for Robinson. Now here's Moutier. The pass to Giles. Moutier looking around. Over Jones. They grab their own miss. It's deflected. And now here comes Jones leading the break. The rebound by the Jazz. And without a bio in finishing plays, Brent, he is a terrific dunker.
No doubt. Guys are looking for him all over the rim, and you could throw it just about anywhere, and Bam is going to go up and just look for that. Bam right on you. Great energy, great athleticism, and continues to find ways in which he can make solid offensive contributions for the Heat.
The Jazz again can't hit it. The Heat leading by 4. Gay kicks to Dragic. 41 seconds left here in the opening quarter. To the middle. Here's Olynyk. That's in, coming off an assist from Dragic.
Now, some guys have a hard time finding their teammates in those possessions. Dragic is always looking to dish to get it to the open man.
To the right side. Here's Moutier. Knocks down the 3-ball. And here's Gay. He'll bring it up for the Heat. It's a 3-point game. Last time they met was in Salt Lake City, Utah, where they fell to the Jazz.
And it's going to come down to effort tonight. Last time they met each other, they were demolished on the boards, and that rebounding difference led to a sizable loss.
Well, let's see if the lesson was learned from that loss. If they come out with the same type of effort, they can expect a similar result here.
So at the end of 1 quarter of play, still a close game. Heat lead by 3. Live from Vivint Smart Home Arena, you're watching 2K Sports. It wasn't an immediate star turn for Mike Conley in the NBA. He talked about that journey.
The ups and downs of injuries.
Great work ethic is the key. Conley stayed at it.
And a player that's known for keeping his composure, that helps also. He weathered those early challenges and just stayed positive.
Some good action already in this one, but a fairly even matchup after the first quarter of play. And let's quickly break down the game we've been seeing from the Heat, guys.
Well, pounding the boards is one way to gain an advantage. They simply owned the glass in that first.
Well, if you get physical out there, you can control the glass, and that helps you to control the pace of the game.
We've got Ilyasova. Batum's out there with Emmanuel Mudiay. And it's Niang in at the small forward position. That's the group for Utah getting going here in the second. Pass to Moutier. And it's Miami with the rebound.
The game has been very close in a lot of areas, but rebounding has been the one differentiator thus far. Yeah, and their shooting really starting to pick up here in the second.
And with the summer's acquisition of Mike Conley, Greg, the Utah Jazz hoping to make a step in the West.
And really, Mike Conley, their best point guard since they traded away Darren Williams back in 2011. Alongside Bogdanovich, a big upgrade offensively, and he can hold his own on the defensive side as well. Yeah, and they're starting to warm up from the field this quarter.
Second quarter of basketball, just over a minute and a half played so far. And the Jazz call time here.
Derek Jones gets talked about a lot in terms of his dunking prowess and the way that he can get up in the air and maybe make a poster and a memory in the flash of an eye. But beyond the dunks, he's done a good job of really improving his game since coming into the league in 2016.
getting ready for Miami. Adebayo is checked in for Kelly Olynyk. Jimmy Butler comes in for Rudy Gay. Andre Iguodala is checked in for Derek Jones. Robinson is subbed in for Goran Dragic. Now here's Conley. Defense is right there. And finished off by Collins.
Just has a nose for the dunks. Collins up there once again.
The Heat leading by 7. Outside, Robinson passes it to Hero. From downtown, the shot no good. Now the Jazz take it the other way. Okay, well, let's check in with David Aldridge, who's reporting from the sideline.
Well, Kevin, Jimmy Butler has made several all-star teams, but he remains single-minded in pursuit of his bigger goal. Butler said, "I just want to win a championship. That's all that matters. I didn't do it in high school, didn't do it in college. If I don't win it here, then I'll go to the 50 and over league someday. But I got to win a championship at some stage." Kevin?
I like that attitude. Thank you, D.A. Now here's Conley. Not a lot of room. A floater. The putback. He hangs in there and cashes in on the second chance points.
Yeah, that's where John Collins sets up shop down in the paint, quick and athletic, able to corral the miss.
Bogdanovich against Iguodala. Pass to Hero for the 3. That's in. He's got 2 made now, and he's shooting 2 for 3. Brandon, this next question culture we're in, what comments do you want to hear from players who have just lost a game and facing disappointment?
I like the humility aspect of this question, Kevin, and the thing that I listen to most from players who get it, they'll compliment their opponent first. Something had to happen where the opponent did something enough to beat you on that night. So you don't say that we did all these things. Give the opponent credit first. Secondly, players who shoulder a massive amount of responsibility, they'll say that they could have played better first. And that takes and deflects everything away from their teammates. And then they'll talk about what they're looking forward to most. And their challenge is, we'll get better tomorrow. We'll get better next game. And that they know there's room to grow. Those 3 things are pretty impactful.
Well said. And 1:01 left here in the second. Outside, Bogdanovich. Shot clock at 6. Here's Collins. Down it goes for his 3rd basket in as many tries.
It took a little bit of time, but now he's taking the pen off the cap and putting his mark on this game.
Here's Butler. Collins with some nice D.
Teammates right now covering up for the type of off performance he's having. In terms of scoring, this has not been his best night.
And that's his strong suit, the ability to find his way through the D and finish at the rim.
It's 9 seconds separating the shot clock in game. Outside Butler. Latrey. That's a bucket. His 3rd of the game. He shot the ball 7 times.
Got to get out on Butler from beyond the arc. His 3-point stroke continues to improve.
Now Conley. He's coming off a 13-point game against the Thunder in Oklahoma City.
Yeah, but there's always this point, Kevin, you got to look at where did he also impact the game. It was on the rebounding end of the floor. A tremendous performance there.
And so it's the Miami Heat with their lead standing at 6 points here at the end of the quarter. They're playing a bruising game inside, and it's working for them. And now let's catch up with David Aldridge, who's standing by from the sideline. All right, Dave.
Kevin, thanks. Here with Jimmy Butler. Jimmy, you have come along.
Thanks so much, David, and we'll step away briefly, but get you right back out here for the start of the 3rd quarter after this break.
The 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Ernie Johnson here with Shaq and Kenny, and a favorite time of the year as we're halfway through one of the first games of this fresh NBA season. It was a closely contested first quarter for Miami. The biggest lead they were able to get out to during the first. And that should.
We've got second half action for you, and if the next couple quarters are similar to the first, this one could go down to the last possession. You look at Jimmy Butler. He's really been playing well.
Yeah, and through the first 2 quarters, he has been the offense for this team.
Yeah, he's shouldering the load right now and looking really comfortable while he's doing it.
And if you're just joining us, we've played through the first half in a game that's been fairly even so far. Jazz trail by 6, all fueled up and ready to go. Let's reset the lineups courtesy of Gatorade for the second half of basketball. And for Miami, look at who they've got out there. Jimmy Butler is out there with Iguodala. Then it's Bam Adebayo. Then it's Robinson, and it's Dragic in at the point guard position.
And one issue for the Heat for years now, inefficient shooting.
Well, young players are learning how to defend, so you need to do that first. But if you can't go down on the offensive end and you can't find ways to dig out of holes by shooting the basketball, you get down 10 or 12 points. Defense sometimes isn't enough. They've been the bottom third in points scored for quite a while.
No luck that time either.
Yeah, just a solid job on the backboard. They are really controlling the inside.
So Favors will bring it up for the Utah Jazz. They trail by 6. Following this one, they get to host the Pelicans. That'll be the second of 4 games at home for them. Conley, the pass to Collins. And oh boy, a lot of contact there, but he gets the call and will shoot 2. And he may not have gotten the same attention as some of the other picks back in the 2017 draft, Greg, but John Collins out of Wake Forest has been outstanding thus far in his career.
Really one of the league's best kept secrets. Tremendous athleticism, also great hands, and just has a knack for moving to the open spot around that rim.
The first free throw is good. Well, we hear this all the time. Good defense beats good offense. Do you think that's true?
I don't know how defense scores. So in today's game, seeing the juggernauts and seeing what we've seen, Kevin, quite frankly, as some of the best offensive teams, not only in the last 5 years, but in the history of the league, around the Houston Rockets and what the Golden State Warriors have been able to do. It's about equipping your team defensively to be able to stop that stylistically. But certainly every coach will say it comes down to defense, because that is something you can control.
And he lays that one in. And now a 9-point Heat lead.
Well, Dragic just reading the floor right there and takes what he sees in transition. That's where you have to make quick decisions, and Dragic did it there.
Conley kicks to Bledsoe. Now the pass to Conley. Wants to get it to Collins and does. Basket good. Collins has got 9.
That's the guy you want with the ball inside, as Collins' ability to rise up will produce some points.
And Miami calls their first time out of the game.
And coaches looking to seize every advantage, maximize every possession.
Got to feel good as a coach if you make all those adjustments, pull the right strings. That's what they love to do.
Some changes here for the Heat. Kelly Olynyk checked in for Bam Adebayo. Gay comes in for Robinson. And it's Derek Jones in for Andre Iguodala. Here's Gay. Now here's Dragic. And there's a whistle. That goes on Harry Giles. That is his first foul of the game. Into the third we go. 2 minutes in now. Here's Butler.
No escaping the outstretched arms of Ilyasova on that play. At every turn, he was right there and defended it well.
Up top, Moutier. He's guarded by Dragic. Here's Niang. He's been patient so far. Nothing on the scoreboard yet. 4 on the clock. He tries for 3. And it's Giles missing. Miami leading by 7. Here's Butler. That's in, coming off an assist from Dragic. Dragic has got 5 assists tonight.
Yeah, that's the 3rd bucket in a row from the paint. This defense needs to clog those lanes in the middle.
Here's Niang, defended by Jones. Niang passes to Batum. Now here's Moutier. Over Jones. Moutier, no good.
And they continue to control the glass.
And with the summer signing of Jimmy Butler, the Miami Heat demonstrating they still can lure star talent to South Beach.
The Heat back on the rise. The Butler signing sets the stage for the summer of 2021 when they should have the cap space to sign another max player.
Niang kicks to Ilyasova. To the paint. Here's Batum. 2 free throws coming up, and they call the shooting foul. It's on Jimmy Butler. And the versatile wing, Nick Batum, wants to do-it-all score. But, Greg, he's started to take less of an active role in offenses lately.
And Batum has been asked to do less volume scoring, but it's helped his efficiency as a player. Now past 30 years of age, you could see his role on teams being similar to that of Andre Iguodala's as he ages in the league.
Heroes checked in for Butler. Both free throws good from Batum.
A big fella with the ability and confidence at the free throw line is something that every team wants. Don't have to make those late substitutions. Keep your big guys on the floor.
Dragic the pass to Hero. He kicks it to Gay. Here's Dragic. And no good. Moutier with the ball. Pass to Giles. Outside, Batum. Let's go. Misses off the right iron.
And he rushed that one, no doubt about it. The D out of position, you could see the frustration on his face.
Hero, no good. Jazz trail by 9. 32 seconds left in the third quarter of the game. Batum passes to Giles. Kicks to Moutier. It's hauled in by Hero.
This feels like it's snowballed a little bit on them. The more he tries to shoot his way out of this slump, the worse it seems to get. They need him to get it together.
Unwilling to let up even for a moment. That's his killer instinct, just fanning the flames.
Yeah, he's the guy that you want to go to right now, trying to put this one away.
From deep three-point range, and the last shot at the buzzer doesn't go in for him.
And if you have credits to give out, give them to Dragic. Stellar defense.
And as we end the third quarter, a double-digit deficit will make it tough to come back. Miami ahead. They lead by 12. And we're just moments away from the start of the fourth quarter. Stay with us. And it's time now to bring you our State Farm assist of the game.
And, you know, you can always count on him for at least a couple of these pretty assists over the course of a game. And this one, a thing of beauty.
Sometimes it happens when the offense is struggling, but every now and then this helps with the offensive uptick right there. Great job of setting his teammate up.
And there may not be a lot of drama down the stretch as we head into the fourth quarter, but stranger things have happened. They've got Bledsoe. Favors is out there with John Collins. Then there's Bojan Bogdanovic, and it's Conley in at the point. That's the 5 on the floor for the Jazz. Throws it up high. Robinson misses.
And what should have been a simple pass and finish ends up in a missed opportunity on that alley-oop attempt.
Yeah, you'd like to keep things a little more simple, and that was a play that didn't quite develop the way they wanted it.
He muscles it in through the contact, and they call the foul. He's on his way to the free throw line.
How about Collins cleaning up the glass? That time he is a premier rebounder.
Out of Wake Forest, John Collins quickly emerging as a top-notch scorer. A tremendous finisher, and his range extends out beyond the arc.
And players with big numbers on losing teams can be accused of empty stats. So, Greg, do you take Collins's with a grain of salt?
You look at his field goal percentage, high 50s. He's not just a high-usage player. He is highly efficient.
Gay kicks to Iguodala. Over Bogdanovic. No good off the back of the rim. Jazz trail by 9. Here's Conley. And laid in to finish the break.
And that's how you do it. Impressive play, explosive finish.
Yeah, sweet finishes like that, you see everybody get up. Look at the guys on the bench. They're fired up.
Here's Hero. Guarded by Bledsoe. Miami no good on that time either.
Oh, can't punish the defense for leaving him open that time. That's a frustrating miss for a really steady jump shooter.
Back to Conley. Good, and Bledsoe gets the assist. And that's now 11 points for Conley.
Again, floor vision from Eric Bledsoe makes dishing that basketball look easy.
Here's Hero. Guarded by Bledsoe. Floats one up, and the layup is up and in.
When a player gets a feel for that floater, it can really make things tough on defenders. You're just not sure how to guard them and where your point of commitment is.
And again, it's Utah.
So important for this offense that when you get opportunities like that, a player can knock them down. This time it's Bledsoe.
Timeout called, the Heat. Jimmy Butler, he's checked in for the Heat. Dragic comes in for Hero. And we've got an update here, so let's catch up with David Aldridge.
Thanks, guys. I was able to hear Eric Spoelstra coaching the team during the break. He said, I want us to play as though we're behind. We're good when we play with urgency. We're bad when we become complacent. Don't become complacent. Let's go. Guys?
Thank you, David.
Well, he finds some space in that in-between gap there, Kevin. Too bad.
Oh,
you knew something good was coming, Kevin, right? Eric Bledsoe stepping up and getting it done.
Well, Heat leading by 3. Outside Dragic. Over Conley. And again, it's the Heat missing. On offense, here are the Jazz. Big run right now going for him, 11-2. That's a floater go. No good from Bledsoe. He'd have gone just 1 of 6 in the field to start the fourth quarter. A bit of a slowdown for them right now. And the jam by Andre Iguodala.
Man, it doesn't matter what time of game it is. Andre Iguodala ready to step up.
Over to the wing. Bledsoe for 3. And that one falls coming off Conley's feet. Conley's got 4 assists in the game. And it's Butler with the ball. He'll bring it up for Miami. They've held a 12-point lead earlier. Here's the teardrop. Adebayo lays it up off the glass. And the Heat lead by 4.
How about the awareness there for Butler? The D goes to sleep, and Jimmy finds the wide-open man.
Conley against Dragic. Outside Robinson. Shots good from Butler. Now it's a 6-point Miami lead.
And when things are tight, Butler just seems to step his game up. Tremendous score here in the clutch.
Here's Conley. Favors trying to break free. Outside for Bledsoe. And it's off from three-point range. Miami's gone 3 of 6 tonight when they've let it fly from downtown. And he gets it to go.
Give them credit. They've worked hard all game, now looking to finish it.
Oh, great job of getting in position to win a game. It's been an all-out effort from the squad.
And the Jazz call time here. They're trailing by 8. There's 47 seconds left in the fourth quarter. And now let's present our Jordan Player of the Game, Jimmy Butler.
And the way he's made his mark with his work inside, he's just been a slasher tonight. Always moving, getting to the basket at will, and just seemingly taking advantage of a D that was reluctant to get in his way.
He's really seemed to feed off the hostile environment he's been faced with tonight. 32 seconds left in the fourth quarter. Bogdanovich dishes to Conley. From deep, it's Adebayo with the rebound.
And that was a little bit of a range check for him.
Well, I thought they played smart, and then all of a sudden it was maybe a little too flashy there, and that's unfortunate.
And here's Dragic. And so it's Miami winning this one. And in the win, a comfortable win in what was, I think, a pretty hostile environment.
It really was. You know, it's never going to be easy on the road, but they didn't have too many problems with that tonight.
And a chance now to send it over to David Aldridge, standing by courtside. David.
Thanks, Kevin. Jimmy, you have been outspoken about the need for max.
All right, David, great job. Thanks so much. Thank you for joining us. It's NBA basketball on 2K Sports. We're glad to... DA, it's all yours. A lot of optimism. Thanks, DA. Here are the 5 for the Clippers. Shamet and George at the 2 and the 3. Wendell Carter is out there with Jokic. And it's Beverly in at the point guard. And for the Pacers, Chris Middleton is out there with Parker. And it's Vucevic. Then there's Thomas Satoransky. And it's Oladipo in at the 2. The baseline J. Parker's shot is off. Beverly against Satoransky. Pass to Shamet. The entire offseason leading up to tonight, Steve, as a player, do you already know if your team has a chance to be special this early?
You know, Kevin, yeah, you do. And I think the teams that I've been on and teams that you see and saying we don't have a chance to win, you try to trick yourself. You're looking at management ownership. Can we make a deal throughout this year to get us in contention? But you got to be realistic. You know the team that you don't have a chance to win the championship.
Parker finds Satoransky. Clock at 6, and it's Vucevic in the corner. From outside, off the mark. Here in the first, a little over a minute played so far. George, no good.
And he didn't punish them for the weak coverage there, but they can't count on him to continue missing.
And the shot goes down.
And look, he's not the best athlete, but he's able to create the space he needs to operate.
Out left to the wing. And Beverly kicks to Shamet. Here is Carter. 17 points for him last game against the Warriors in San Francisco.
That's what they expect from Patrick Beverly. Knocking down the spot-up J.
Beverly against Satoransky. And the pass to Vucevic. Middleton against George. Pass to Oladipo. Shoots over Shamet. Oladipo misses.
Very dangerous to leave a guy like that open. Lucky break there for the D.
And another three for the Clippers.
I love the patience Beverly has developed with the ball in his hands. Terrific find.
If you're just tuning in, we've played about 2.5 minutes here in the first. Satoransky, the pass to Oladipo. Vucevic up top. And he's fouled pretty hard on that shot, but he's got the chance to pick up the points at the line. It's going to be on Jokic.
Well, they say the post-up big man is dead and gone in the NBA, but don't tell that to Nikola Vucevic. An offensive focal point, and he does some of his best work on that low block.
Take a break. Take a break. 2 shots.
That free throw, no good. And you look at the footwork of Vucevic inside, his moves and counter moves, terrific.
Shades of Kevin McHale. And that's something he's continued to develop in the pros. A response to defenders who often surpass him athletically.
Looking at who's out there now for the Pacers. T.J. Warren, he's checked in for Jabari Parker. And it's T.J. McConnell in for Satoransky. He's off on the second. And so George will bring it up for Los Angeles. And the dunk by Powell.
And the feed from George couldn't be better. The timing, the placement, everything about that dish was pinpoint.
McConnell passes to Middleton. The dish to Warren. Passes to McConnell. Over Williams. A shot by McConnell, no good. Here's Los Angeles now. They've outscored them 10 points to 2 during this run. George. Another shot, and he lays it up and in.
Timeout. And what a way to start this game, dominating at both ends of the floor.
They came in prepared, focused, and really jumped on the other team early.
So the Pacers call timeout, their first of the game.
Well, for so much of what Paul George brings to the table, you have to start with his defensive impact. He is one of the top defenders in the league at his position, if not the best.
Enes Kanter's checked in for the Pacers. TJ Leaf comes in for Victor Oladipo. 1:36 left in the first. You look at George with all he does, Greg, you sometimes forget how good his perimeter defense is.
Well, I mean, his teammates and coaches won't ever forget about the impact he has on that end. Even when George isn't scoring or the shot isn't falling, he is still a monster on the floor just with his defense alone.
Dishes it to Okafor. The shot, no good. Excellent D from Kanter. Warren the pass to Kanter. That one drops for him.
And they've scored several times already here in the first quarter on the inside.
Williams looking around. Over McConnell. And he can't bank that one in. Last outing for the Clippers, they won that game against the Warriors. Here's Warren. The Clippers grab the miss. 2-for-1 chance here.
Let's see if they use the clock to their advantage.
Pass to Okafor. On the wing, Williams. A floater. He can't get it to go.
I'll tell you what, I think he thought that was going in. I sure did.
There's the pass to McConnell. Middleton outside. Back to McConnell. There's the three. And the last second attempt doesn't fall. And so it's Los Angeles with their lead standing at 6 points here at the end of the quarter. A look at the field goal percentage numbers tells the story of what tough defense they're playing today. And we'll be back with you shortly. Paul George had that nasty broken leg back in 2014. He describes what inspired him to come back even stronger.
My inspiration really came from my mother. You know, her dealing with stroke, her dealing with really being down and out. You know, I saw her fight back. That was enough for me. In my darkest days, I knew it was nothing to what my mom went through, and she came out perfectly fine, so.
Well, what a story. George worked hard to get back and is not disappointed in his return.
You know, recovering from a devastating injury is never easy, but George's perspective and commitment helped him to overcome it.
And for those of you just tuning in, the second quarter of action is where we're at right now. And taking a look at Los Angeles' performance here, what have they been doing or not doing?
You could see they were well prepared defensively coming into this one.
Yes, what they do, they take away the things that teams like to do offensively, also keeping them out of sync.
TJ McConnell is out there with Chris Middleton. Then there is Warren. Then it's McDermott. And it's Kanter in at the 5. That's the 5 to begin the second quarter for the Pacers. Pass to Pascal. Outside Williams. McDermott with a steal. Here's McConnell. It's good. He scores. That's his first basket after missing his first 2 attempts. Now 1 for 3.
That was big because they dug a big hole in the first quarter, but starting to show signs of life.
And here is Williams. He's gotten some minutes, but nothing on the board yet. Well, the book, Greg, is the same for Enes Kanter as it's always been. Great score inside, but his defense leaves you wanting.
And Kevin, at this point, he is who he is. I mean, for better or worse. Kanter is still a force off the bench to give a team some post presence in their second unit, but not sure he'll ever be a player to build around.
Here's Okafor, and he drops in the layup off the glass. And the Clippers lead by 4.
This is what the analytics prefer. Shots at the rim or from 3.
Timeout called the Pacers. In addition to going over the game plan and making whatever necessary adjustments have to be made, Greg, this timeout also the time for players to get rehydrated or hydrate for the first time with some Gatorade. Plenty of basketball still to be played here, and they have to get recharged.
That's a great point. Without proper hydration, a player can completely run out of gas down the stretch of a game. And that's something that none of these guys can afford to have happen. If you're going to battle all the way to the finish, you have got to be hydrated.
From the sideline, let's catch up with Hall of Famer David Aldridge.
Well, for Nick Vucevic, there were some great firsts last season. His son Philip was born in December, and then Dad made his first All-Star appearance. Nick is from a basketball family. He said, "I'll enjoy telling my son the stories, like my dad did with me. We'll see if he likes the game of basketball. I think he will." Kevin?
Well, D.A., it's certainly in his genes. Thanks for that report. So an entirely new group in now for Indiana. Vucevic, he's checked in for Enes Kanter. Parker comes in for Ward. Victor Oladipo, he's checked in for Chris Middleton. And Satoransky subbed in for T.J. McConnell. Satoransky, bounce pass. Shoots a fader and misses it off the right side of the rim. Clippers leading by 4. Down low, here's Shamet. Well-timed pass, and he goes straight to the bucket for the layup. Shamet's got 5 points so far. You know, the league is trying to maximize competition, Steve, and flatten the draft lottery odds has been one way to do it. Will that be enough? Or is there still work to be done in that regard?
You know, I love the way they've done it so far, but I still think they can tweak it even more, and we'll get a better product on the floor where teams get a chance to compete for all 82 games. I like what I'm seeing right now.
Yep, that one goes in there.
And his presence as a scorer, it just has a calming effect for the rest of the team. He's a fallback option whenever they need one.
Pass to Oladipo. From the arc. Good on the triple. Oladipo's got his first bucket of the game, and he's on the board for 3.
Maybe he's not one of the elite sharpshooters, but even still, that's not a shot that he can afford to give.
Shoots from 12. Vucevic with the rebound. Pacers trail by 5. Unloads from 13. That one a little long. Last outing for the Clippers, they won that game against the Warriors in San Francisco. 1:21 left in the first half. Now, here's Shamet. He had 10 points in the win against Golden State.
You can't forget about how great he was at forcing contact and getting to the line. He racked up a lot of easy points at the line that way.
Now here's McDermott. Tight defense on him. Shoots over Shamet. McDermott can't get it to go. Clippers leading by 5. Here's Beverly. Score the basket. His second of 2 attempts.
And they're beginning to just flat out fall apart defensively right now, especially on the interior.
Satoransky looking around. Over Jackson. Parker trying to free himself up. Buries it down low. Satoransky's got his second basket. Clippers have gone 5 of 8 from the floor here in the second quarter. Over 60% shooting. To the paint. It's tipped. Stolen by Satoransky. Beverly against Oladipo. Six on the shot clock. Fires the 3. The shot that time not on target. And a close game so far through the first 2 quarters as we reach halftime. Clippers ahead, up by 5. We're going to step away briefly, but get you right back out here for the start of the third quarter after our halftime.
It's the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Ernie Johnson here with Shaq and Kenny, and a favorite time of the year as we're halfway through one of the first games of this fresh NBA season. The Clippers have the edge here at halftime. They have a 5-point lead. Kenny, what did you see from them?
Well, I think to shoot a high percentage, the offense has to be in sync. And in the first half, those guys were sharing the basketball, playing for each other. Now it becomes a matter of being consistent at it.
Shaq, your take on Indiana.
Well, I'll tell you what I saw in the first half, Ernie. 3 things. I saw defense, not enough pressure, but they can still win this game. They need to ramp it up. Is that 2 or 3? Doesn't matter. You understand, Ernie.
And that's a wrap. With the third quarter approaching, we now send you back to Kevin and the crew.
And as we get into this third quarter, as we've seen so far, neither team able to create much separation on the scoreboard yet. You look at Patrick Beverly. He's been playing really well.
You know, I don't think he'll top the assist charts this year, but early on he's done a great job of keeping the ball hopping around.
And some of it's just a mindset. He came into this game with a very unselfish approach, and his teammates have benefited from it.
And we're halfway through this one. Plenty of basketball left in a game that's been fairly even so far. Well, we've got a moment. Let's set the floor. Brought to you by Gatorade, all fueled up for the second half. So for the Clippers right now, Beverly and Shamet in the backcourt together. Jokic is out there with Carter, and it's George in at the 3.
Using his height and length there to prevent the second chance opportunity.
And you hear it all the time about how they say reaching the top can be the easy part. It's the staying there that's the true challenge. And Victor Oladipo achieved stardom, but has to make his way back after his knee injury in early 2019.
Jokic against Satoransky. Pass to Oladipo, launches it. Carter pulls it in. Carter's got 6 rebounds now in the game. And Oladipo had already dealt with soreness in that right knee. You talked about that, missing about a month earlier in the season.
And some suggested he came back too soon. Hindsight always 20/20, and players want to be out there to help win games. Sometimes teams have to protect them from themselves.
And there's the pass to George. Great tee that time from Middleton.
That is some tough defense there against one of the better finishers in our game.
Satoransky with it. A wide open look here for Oladipo. The shot's good on the assist by Satoransky.
Great job executing the offense. That pass on time and on point.
And the Clippers decide to take their first time out here. Interesting, Smitty. We're seeing guys like Dirk and Vince Carter play into their 40s. I'm wondering if this is a byproduct of improved nutrition and conditioning, and if that accelerates this trend.
I think it does, Kevin. I also agree to add to that. I think the game is less physical. I think a lot of those guys are taking care of themselves, but when the game is not as physical, it's a lot more perimeter. You can play longer. I'm curious, Kevin, will anybody play into their 50s?
You know, wouldn't that be amazing? That's a good question. So an entirely new group in now for Indiana. Cantor checked in for Vucevic. TJ Leaf comes in for Parker. Warren's checked in for Oladipo. And it's TJ McConnell in for Satoransky. Powell against Middleton. Powell inside. And he uses the glass on the layup. Powell's got his second basket of the game.
And it's coming easy for them right now. 5 baskets in a row in the paint.
McConnell passes to Warren. Pass to Leaf. McConnell kicks to Cantor. Indiana moving the ball over. Three-pointer. Not as good in the Los Angeles leads. Cut down now to just 4 in the basket from McConnell.
To stretch out the defense, you just need enough guys on the floor who can make that shot.
Now Okafor. Here's Williams. From deep, George. It's hauled in by Leaf.
In a funk this quarter, he's trying to shoot his way out of it.
Warren finds Middleton. Passes it to Leaf. Pass to McConnell. Up top Warren. He's guarded by Williams. And the shot by Warren, no good. And so it's Williams who brings it up for the Clippers. They've led by as much as 10.
A beautiful pass to lead his teammate right to the hoop.
Pacers trail by 6. In the third quarter with just over 3.5 minutes off the clock. McConnell kicks to Leaf. Here's Cantor. Second chance shot. Leaf, no good.
There's the value of great rim protection without fouling, forcing the miss.
For 3, Middleton. Kept alive. Goes up again. Cantor. Misses the layup. He had him with that pump fake. Los Angeles leading by 6. It's Powell on the wing. And the pass to Okafor. Finds the bottom of the bucket from 13 feet out.
And just using the natural advantage he has, he can see over the top of the defense.
And let's also add, he has touch from there. That's a solid shot for him.
Lee passes to Warren. And the call on the shot that sends him to the line. That one on George.
Yeah, the defender all over him.
Indiana shooting their 3rd and 4th free throw attempts of the game. And he makes the first. So an entirely new group in now for Indiana. Vucevic checked in for Enes Kanter. Parker comes in for Leaf. Victor Oladipo, he's checked in for Chris Middleton. And Satoransky subbed in for T.J. McConnell. Both free throws good from Warren. Los Angeles leading by 6. And here's George. On the wing, Jackson takes a 3. The shot, no good. And we've reached the end of the third. Clippers lead by 6. And we'll have the start of the 4th quarter for you as soon as we get back from this short break. Let's listen in on what Nate McMillan had to say to his team.
Defensively, we got to keep these guys in front of us shooting contested 2. All right, play defense without fouling and then get one shot.
Being aggressive, GA, without fouling. That's a good message, and that's what Coach McMillan wants.
The worst thing you can do is bail a team out. It's important that they just lock down here defensively.
Well, what a terrific game it's been so far, with this 4th quarter sure to bring more pressure-packed basketball. Oladipo is the 2, with Warren playing small forward. Parker out there with Vucevic, and it's Satoransky in at the point. So that's the group out there for Indiana. Oladipo outside. Knocked away. And pushing it up, here's the Clippers. And that one's good. Beverly.
That's the leadership they're looking for from Jackson. Staying patient, surveying the court, locates the open man.
Pass to Parker. Beverly feeling it out a bit. That one goes. Count it. Jackson's got the lead up to 12 now for Los Angeles.
And the crisp passing has opened things up for them offensively.
And it's Parker at the elbow. Jackson against Satoransky. The kick out to Oladipo. Offensive rebound.
Well, he had one three-pointer in the first half, but so far in the second, he's come up with goose eggs.
Beverly, the pass to George. Passes it to Jokic. Jokic draws the double. Now here's Beverly. Just 5 on the clock. From deep three-point range, and the rebound goes to the Pacers.
And when you are as good a shooter as he is, you have the confidence. You have to have the confidence to take that shot. It might not always fall.
You know what another option is? Just give the ball up. Let someone else make a play.
Oladipo for 3, and Jokic with the rebound. Jokic has got his 7th rebound here tonight. And it's Beverly missing.
And his pure defensive effort changed that shot from an easy one to a tough one.
And you know, technically, it's a high percentage look, but this is why we play the game.
Here's Oladipo, and he hits the jumper. Well, he's been waiting for that for a while.
Working in that mid-range area. The analytics may not love it, but that's a good look for him.
Los Angeles calls timeout.
Well, it's a players' league, but certainly coaching has its place.
Yeah, if that weren't the case, you wouldn't see so many coaching changes in the offseason.
The Pacers making a switch here. Middleton's checked in, and the Clippers making a change here as well. Shamet's checked in, and we've got an update here, so let's check in with David Aldridge reporting from the sideline.
Hey, Kevin, during the last break, I heard Doc Rivers talking with his team. He told them, look, we're in a good spot. The one thing I want you guys to do, stay in the moment. Don't look ahead. Stay in the moment and compete. Kevin, we'll see if they can keep focused.
Okay, David, thanks. Shooting foul as the whistle blows. He'll shoot 2 free throws. Coming into the NBA, Victor Oladipo, Greg, drew some comparisons to Dwayne Wade, but it was working out with D-Wade that helped take Victor's game to the next level.
And listen, anytime you're the 2nd overall pick, which he was back in 2013, stardom is expected. It just took a while. Now he's got to apply that same work ethic to overcoming the knee injury.
And the first one drops. Steve, we're seeing teams around the league putting up a lot of three-point shots. I'm sure you would have enjoyed playing in this era so much with that green light shooting threes.
I would, Kevin. Getting a chance to shoot maybe 5 or 6 more three-point field goal attempts takes your numbers up. But I also think a lot of these teams are copycats. Everybody can't shoot the three. Work on your game and what's best for you.
And so George will bring it up for the Clippers. And it goes down 2 points. George has got the lead up to 12 now for the Clippers.
And I just love the aggressiveness from George, just slicing apart the defense with that terrific ability to penetrate.
Here's Oladipo. Oh, the power on that prudence.
Oh, let's go home. That was just ridiculous.
I do not remember the last time I saw a dunk like that in a game. George against Middleton. And George, here we go. That's in for his 5th make of the night. Now shooting at a 50% clip, 5 for 10.
Man, just adding insult to injury. He just waltzes inside and extends this lead.
An uncontested shot at the rim, you have to compete at all times.
And the Pacers call time here. They're behind by 12. 1:29 left here in the 4th quarter. get the chance to present our Jordan Player of the Game, Patrick Beverley.
And I love that it's been a hard-charging performance. Jump shots have been kind of an afterthought. His main goal has been to attack the rim and put the D in some tough spots, and also finishing strong.
He got an extra boost from the grief these fans were giving him here tonight. They were riding him hard all night, and he ate it up. Some guys just like being the villain, I guess.
Switch.
Pass to Shamet. Now Jokic. The jump hook, and again the Clippers good for 2.
And there's no doubt about this one. Playing with a lot of confidence tonight. It's a statement victory for the Clippers.
You know, it's tough to put your finger on the deciding factor in this one, but I'd say that the shooting accuracy made the difference.
Yeah, I think you're on point, Kevin. They got better looks, and that tends to lead to a better field goal percentage.
And it'll go down as their first official win of the new year.
And in a 3-game season series, they take the first 2, and certainly they've had the edge in this matchup.
Parker surveying the floor. He dishes it to Middleton. Over George. And the Pacers can't get it to go. And they can just let the clock run out here.
Cannot argue with the W.
The pass to Shamet. Jokic with it. Shoots over Vucevic. Offensive rebound. Carter kicks to Jokic. So the Clippers winning this one easily. This crowd was stunned by the manner in which their team was dismantled.
You know what? Shocking. I don't care what the matchup is. You never expect a road team to come in and just cruise to the kind of win they did tonight.
It's time now to go courtside as we send you over to David Aldridge from the sideline. David, take it away. Thank you, David. Great interview once again. And that'll wrap it up